Chapter 97. Flames burst out of his body, but they were golden. The astral power in his body had also turned into golden fire astral power. The scorching heat was even more terrifying than before, and the temperature was even higher. His entire body was emitting golden flames, and the terrifying temperature instantly set the grass around him on fire. It was like the sun. A golden flaming door rose from the fire astral power. Then, the Tai Chi painting rose a black and white door. The traceless three sabers raised a colorless and faint door. There were 3 saber scars on the door. Then, the object manipulation art also rose a colorless door. However, there was a stream of energy flowing on the door. The 5 doors rose and an invisible force enveloped his body. Tiny lines flew out from the stargate and merged into his flesh and bones, sealing him. Jiang Chongkong finally understood why the Stargate martial artists couldn't extract energy. The Stargate sealed the flesh and bones. It couldn't be extracted unless the connection was cut off. But Jiang Chongkong didn't know how to cut it off. The Stargate rose and a great amount of astral power poured out from the Stargate, pouring into the star ocean. The star ocean expanded again and the astral power became more condensed and powerful. It was several times more powerful than before. Jiang Chongkong looked at his data again. As expected, he had reached the mid-rank martial arts level. But then, a huge amount of information poured into his head, giving him a splitting headache. The bronze skin and metal bone art upgraded to the diamond body, making his body as hard as diamond. Including his internal organs, the defense inside his body was no weaker than the defense outside his body. The Tai Chi scripture upgraded to the Tai Chi mysterious art. It was mysterious and could hide the fluctuations of astral power. The 3 traceless blades upgraded to the 3 strikes of grace. It was so fast that it could kill people without injuring them. The burning fire art upgraded to the burning sun art. The astral power could be said to be the fire of the sun, but it was a weakened version. The object manipulation art upgraded to the Yuling art. It could control astral power and natural elements, such as water and fire. Jiang Chongkong. Early stage of Stargate middle rank martial arts. Diamond body art. Beginner January 5000 Tai Chi mysterious art. Beginner January 5000 3 strikes of grace. Beginner January 5000 burning sun art. Beginner January 5000 Yuling art. Beginner January 5000 essence, energy, and spirit. 1-358 Looking at his own data, Jiang Chongkong took a deep breath. The next step was to coordinate his martial arts. He was surrounded by a golden light and the power of the blazing sun star surged and filled his body. Boom! Flames suddenly appeared, and Jiang Chongkong was surrounded by blazing golden flames. Every inch of his skin, every part of his body, even his blood, was burning with golden flames. Vajra steps on fire. With a flip of his palm, there were golden flames everywhere. The Tai Chi mysterious art was activated. Everything dissipated. Jiang Chongkong's star power was completely restrained. The 3 graceful saber strikes were just like the 3 traceless saber strikes from before. The strikes, and the sheathing of the saber were all extremely fast. Those of the same level couldn't even see them. With the upgrade of the Raging Flame technique, the accompanying Mystic Fire Blade technique and Mystic Fire Steps had also been upgraded. The style of the saber had also changed, becoming the Profound Yang saber. The Golden Flames Profound saber was just the most ordinary saber move. Then came the Blazing Sunblade, the Scorching Sunblade, and the Setting Sunblade. The Blazing Sunblade was like the rising sun of the heavens and earth, filled with killing intent amidst the warmth. The Blazing Sunblade was like the midday sun, blazing and scorching hot. The Sunset Blade was like the setting sun in the west. The heat wasn't obvious and everything was restrained. The Mystic Fire Steps had also become the Profound Yang step. The flames under his feet were like a miniature sun. The astral power of the Yuling art surged, and the long saber danced in the air. Astral power was injected into it, and a faint buzzing sound could be heard. I can't take it. This was only a third-rank weapon, which was one grade lower than his astral power. Weakening the astral power, the graceful saber flashed past so fast that all that could be seen was its afterimage. The blade passed by and the grass was unharmed. The golden flames burned from the inside out. The Tai Chi painting moved according to his will. Jiang Chongkong pondered. The Yuling art could now control the astral power of nature. So, can I use it with the Tai Chi painting to divert the force and use my opponent's astral power? Jiang Chongkong looked into the distance. He realized that he could even see the lines on the grass 600 meters away. My 5 senses are enhanced too. There are no more star demon nearby. Jiang Chongkong pondered. He wouldn't be able to get more essence chi from killing the star demon. Cosmic cloud states were completely useless to him. There weren't many cosmic sea states in a day. If he wanted to continue to improve rapidly, he would have to go deeper to kill the star demon. Ding dong. His phone rang. It was a message from Pang Yun. That person would arrive at the stronghold in half an hour at most. Half an hour? That's enough. Using the mystic yang step, Jiang Chongkong's figure turned into a phantom as he rushed towards the nearby school stronghold. With the Stargate state, Jiang Chongkong's speed was extremely fast. In less than half an hour, he could already see the outline of the stronghold. The walls were made of huge stones. They glowed with faint starlight. It was a beautiful sight. Jiang Chongkong approached quickly and looked at the door. There were 7 people gathered there. Despite the distance, he could still see that 2 of them were the 2 unreliable senior schoolmates. 4 of them were Pang Yun's group. At this moment, Pang Yun was lying on the ground with bloodstains on the corner of her mouth. The last person with waist-length hair stood in front of them. Jiang Chongkong could only see her back view and the intense fluctuations of her astral powers. At the entrance of the wall, Ji Xiling and the others were furious, but they didn't dare to move. The strong astral power fluctuations were like fireworks. Cold chi spread in all directions. Yanxue stood next to Ji Xiling with a serious expression. Ji Xiling, since you're hiding in the barren land of Jiang City, don't come out. Don't cause trouble for your Ji family. It was a young man with waist-length hair. His face was gloomy and full of disdain. Ji Xiling was enraged. Wang Peng, why did you hurt my friends for no reason? Fang Lin and the others stepped forward. We're all from Budokai. Why did you hurt them? Since you know that we're all from Budokai, you should be on my side. Don't associate yourself with these idiots from Jiang City. Wang Peng snorted coldly and glanced at Pang Yun, who was on the ground. Yang Chengan, did you feed that thing to him? Pang Yun's improvement has nothing to do with me. He met a big brother in Jiang City. Maybe he helped him. Yang Chengan's expression was cold. In a fight of martial arts, your brother is not as good as him. How dare you chase him all the way to Jiang City? My brother is not as good as you. As his big brother, how can I let him be bullied? Wang Peng said coldly. Hand over that thing and you'll be fine. Otherwise, I'll cripple you all. This is Jiang City, not Gangshui Castle. Think carefully. Yang Chengan's expression was solemn, his right hand gripping the hilt of his sword tightly. Jiang City? How can a small city like this make me afraid? Wang Peng snorted. Today, even if you call the principal of Jiang City's martial arts school and the major in the army, I'll cripple you all. As soon as he finished his sentence, golden astral power fluctuated and an indestructible sword aura shot out. I want to see the strength of a Stargate martial artist. Fang Lin snorted and made the first move. The green sword aura swallowed, and a strong gust of wind blew. Do it. Ji Xiling and Yanxue shouted and attacked at the same time. Everyone, I'm the only one who did this. Step back. Yang Chengan yelled and charged at Wang Peng with his astral power. A bunch of weaklings. Wang Peng smirked. The golden sword aura was unleashed. Kaboom! Wherever the golden sword aura passed, the sword aura exploded and the gust of wind stopped. As soon as Fong Lin and Yang Chungan touched the sword aura dissipated and they were flung away. The late-stage Star Sea Realm woman was even worse off. Her sword flew out of her hand and blood spilled everywhere. She was flung backward and hit the wall. Pucci, Ji Xiling and Ing Yenxue trembled as a golden sword aura pierced through their right shoulders. Blood gushed out. Ji Xiling, think carefully. I'll destroy your martial arts with another attack. Wang Ping stood with his sword. He didn't feel proud at all after injuring them with one attack. He was already at the peak of the early stage Stargate. It wouldn't be long before he reached the mid-stage of Stargate. Ji Xiling and the others only had one peak stage Star Sea Realm, and the other two had just reached the early stage Star Sea Realm. He wouldn't be afraid even if there were twice as many of them. Sister Xiling. Pang Yun struggled to get up and stood in front of the two. This has nothing to do with you. Leave. It has nothing to do with you either. It's my business. Yang Chungan wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and used his astral power to stop the bleeding. It's good that you're disabled. You can go back to Jiangqing and retire. Ji Xiling snorted without fear. What are you talking about? Brotherhood is the most important thing. Also, Pang Yun, when is your brother coming? Ing Yenxue didn't say a word. She only supported Ji Xiling with coldness. I've already informed them. They'll be here soon, Pang Yun said anxiously. Reinforcements? No one can save you today. Just disable them together. A hint of viciousness flashed in Wang Peng's eyes. The golden sword aura appeared again and enveloped everyone at the same time. The invincible golden sword chi exuded a sharp aura from the sword chi. They already felt a tingling pain on their skin before the sword aura even got close. It was the sharp power of metal. Kill! They all looked serious. No one stepped back. They gathered their astral power and blocked the attack together. Boom! Blood splattered and the ground was dyed red. Even though they worked together, they still couldn't block the sword aura. The sword aura raged and enveloped the six of them. It was aimed at their dantian. Once it was broken, they would lose all their martial arts. In an instant, a blade aura flashed. The blade aura was so fast that it was hard to capture its afterimage. It instantly blocked the six of them. Ding, ding, the sword aura and the blade aura collided. The blade aura seemed to be controlled by an invisible hand and blocked the sword aura. Huh? There's such an overlord in Jiangqing? Wang Peng was surprised. He turned around and saw a shadow approaching them quickly. In just a few breaths, the shadow was already in front of them. Wang Peng's expression was cold. You want to be nosy? Jiang Chongqing's eyes were cold. His astral power was surging in his body. You came to Gangxiang Budo School and bullied my senior. Have you thought about how you're going to die? My brother is here, Pang Yun said excitedly. Chapter 98. Little Chongqing? Ji Xiling and Ing Yenxue were shocked. They did not expect Jiang Chongqing to come. Jiang Chongqing is Pang Yun's big brother? Jiang Chongqing. Fong Lin and the others were dumbfounded. The one who just saved them was Jiang Chongqing? Pang Yun was dumbfounded. Big brother is Jiang Chongqing? What happened to the Star Sea intermediate stage? You're courting death. Wang Peng's eyes flashed with killing intent. He stepped forward, his body turned into a golden light, and the sharp sword chi came to kill. Buzz. However, as soon as he took a step forward, killing intent suddenly appeared behind him. The blade that blocked his sword chi appeared again, and this time it was emitting flames. He quickly turned around and used the sharp sword chi to block the fast blade. However, the blade was too fast, so fast that he could only catch a trace. Clang! It was a close call. The long sword collided with the blade, and the long blade flew back and forth. What a strange blade manipulation technique. Hand it over later, and I can make your limbs whole. Wang Ping snorted coldly. His left hand raised a sword finger, and the sword chi shot out, turning into countless sword chi, covering the long blade. What a pity! Jiang Changkong sighed softly. One blade was enough to kill him, but the quality of the weapon was too poor. It could not bear too much of his power, so the sword chi was able to catch a trace. If it were a fourth-grade blade, this guy would have been a corpse now. The sword chi blocked the long blade, and Wang Peng's body was so fast that it seemed to be divided into 4 figures. Not bad, Jiang Changkong praised. He was about to make a move when a strange feeling suddenly surged in his heart. He seemed to be able to hear the trajectory of the sword. He was going to stab his lower abdomen. Surprised, Jiang Changkong did not dodge, and the Tai Chi mysterious art protected his body. Buzz! The blade stopped 3 inches away from his lower abdomen. He was really going to stab his lower abdomen. This feeling, the 5 senses, invincible Vajra body actually had such an ability? Kill! Wang Peng shouted softly, and the sword chi was activated. Its power was a bit stronger, and the Tai Chi diagram was full of cracks and was about to break. With such an opponent, I can test out my thoughts. Jiang Changkong's mind spun. He used the Tai Chi mysterious skill to dispel the force, and the vigorous star power poured out. How could that be? Wang Peng's expression changed. The star force sword chi was his sword chi. He wouldn't have thought much of it if it was just deflecting it. But now, the sword chi was directed at him. Although some of the sword chi had already dissipated, this scene was still strange enough. Heaven and earth great shift. It worked. Jiang Changkong understood in his heart that upgrading his martial arts to the middle stage was not as simple as an ordinary upgrade. It also had many special characteristics, such as indestructible, strengthened 5 senses, and could be said to be able to predict the enemy's movements. The Tai Chi mysterious art could hide one's cultivation. Combined with the Yuling art, it could form the effect of the great universal shift. Boom! The sword chi exploded, and Wang Peng was forced to retreat, looking at him in shock. You can end this now. After verifying his thoughts, all that was left was to deal with this fellow. Jiang Changkong raised his right palm. Golden light shone brightly, and a golden flame burned. Golden flames ignited beneath his feet, and as he took a step forward, his afterimages appeared one after another. Diamond stomping fire. Die! The killing move arrived in an instant. Wang Peng's expression was solemn, and his sword moved again. The golden light shone brightly, and it was incomparably sharp. As his palm fell, the diamond flame and Tai Chi appeared. Both sides came into contact. Tai Chi deflected the force, and Yuling chant was used. Heaven and earth great shift. Boom! His own sword chi against the palm force, and the flames instantly drowned Wang Peng. Poochie! Blood gushed out, and Wang Peng was sent flying. Bang! He landed heavily on the ground, and the ground cracked. A small city? A barren land? Jiang Changkong walked forward slowly, and the golden flames on his body burned fiercely. Today, you will die in this barren land with a grudge. He had heard these words just now, and his 5 senses were terrifyingly enhanced. He raised his right palm again, and the golden flames gathered into the Tai Chi diagram and struck down. Stop! You can't kill me. If I die, Budokai will not let you off, and the Federation will find trouble with you. Wang Peng's expression changed, and his eyes were filled with fear. He shouted anxiously, "Little Changkong, disable him, but don't kill him," Ji Xiling reminded. Ji Xiling, you are... Wang Peng had just opened his mouth, and blood gushed out. He felt a sharp pain in his abdomen, and a strong stream of astral power poured out of his body. Disable him just like that? That's too easy on him. Jiang Changkong said calmly. He's from Budokai after all. Just like how he treated us before, he dared to disable him, but he didn't dare to kill him. Ji Xiling explained, if you want to kill him, you have to obey the Federation's laws, and only the Budokai's chairman has the power to do so. Jiang Chongkong was surprised. The Budokai's chairman has the power to decide life and death? Yes, he can just charge someone with a crime, report it to the higher-ups, and execute him on the spot, Fong Lin added. Jiang Chongkong nodded. He suddenly felt that the chairman had a lot of power. He could kill whoever he wanted, and there was no room for negotiation. If he were to become the chairman, would he be able to kill whoever he wanted? Lil Chongkong, how did you become so powerful? Ji Xiling and Ing Yanxue came over and asked curiously. Because I'm a genius. I've just entered the Stargate state, Jiang Chongkong said. He paused for a while and then asked, What are you going to do with this guy? Leave him here. He'll find a way to beg someone to take him away. Even if he dies, it has nothing to do with us, Ji Xiling said. Jiang Chongkong nodded. He was about to speak when Yang Qingan walked over and searched Wang Peng's body. He found a jade pendant. Yang Qingan tossed the jade pendant to Jiang Chongkong and said, This is a piece of space equipment. There are some good things he collected in it. Jiang Chongkong accepted the jade pendant and said, I'm going back to the city to get my reward. Let's go back too. The people from the school left a long time ago. We're tired of staying here, Ji Xiling said. Can you guys walk now? Jiang Chongkong looked at them. His injuries were severe. No problem. We'll be fine after taking the medicine and resting for half an hour. Pang Yun was the first to reply. Big brother, so you're Jiang Chongkong. I finally know your name. Jiang Chongkong. What happened between the two of you? Ji Xiling asked curiously. Hurry up and recover. We'll talk on the way. Jiang Chongkong said calmly and put away his sword. They began to recover. Wang Peng curled up and did not dare to say a word. Half an hour later, their injuries were stabilized. Jiang Chongkong brought them away. Wang Peng wanted to follow but was flung away by Jiang Chongkong's astral power. If you dare to follow me again, I'll break your legs. Jiang Chongkong, I will wait for you at the provincial capital's martial arts competition. That day will be the day you die. Wang Peng looked at him with hatred and let out a shrill scream. You're just an ant. Why would I care? Jiang Chongkong sneered and left with them. The group of people gradually walked away, leaving Wang Peng alone. There was no one inside or outside the walls. He was the only one there. Without food and water, he would definitely die if no one came to his rescue. Wang Peng put his hand into his pocket and was about to take out his phone. A blade of grass flew toward him and slit his throat at the speed of lightning. His throat was unharmed. The golden flames burned his body from the inside out. Well, I care about an ant too, Jiang Chongkong muttered to himself. He was already crippled, but his connections weren't. He could still cause trouble in the future. He hated trouble. They had already walked far away and did not see the golden flames behind them. On the way, Ji Xiling kept asking him about what had happened between him and Pang Yun. Especially from her tone, Jiang Chongkong seriously suspected that this woman was thinking of something bad. Before he could explain, Pang Yun told him everything that had happened in the past few days and how Jiang Chongkong had taught him. Working for free had become training. Reaching the top of Star Ocean was the best evidence. Jiang Chongkong also asked about Budokai. There was one president and 2 vice presidents. The other members were ordinary members. The Federation would issue missions and the president would get a commission if the members completed them. The president would know about some good missions in advance and could do them on his own if he was interested. So, Jiang Chongkong asked what was on his mind. What do you think? Do you want to be the president? The 6 of them. We wanted to invite you to join us, but you want to be the president? Chapter 99. At the martial arts school in Jiang City. The school was very lively. A group of strangers, youths and teenagers, gathered together. Hi, senior sister. As soon as they entered the school, the group of unfamiliar teenagers hurriedly greeted them politely. Okay, work hard. Ji Xiling nodded and encouraged them. Work hard and pass the 3-year simulation as soon as possible. After saying that, they left straight away. Jiang Chongkong was puzzled. Did they just acquire astral power? The fluctuation of astral power from those teenagers was very weak, just like when he had just acquired it. Are you so busy that you're confused? Ji Xiling rolled her eyes. The school is recruiting students. We miss them. Jiang Chongkong was enlightened. The principal had led some people to kill the star demon in the Star Meadow and left before them. Apart from sending the principal away, they were also recruiting students. Yanxue, take them to rest. I'll go to the principal with Chongkong to get the reward, Ji Xiling said. Okay, Yanxue answered coldly and led them to the cottage. Jiang Chongkong and Ji Xiling went to the principal's office. Along the way, he heard a lot of students talking about him, but most of them didn't know him. There's a genius in Jiang City. The firearms case was solved by our school. I heard that he became a star ocean martial artist in less than a year. Senior Kong will also be an influential figure in the future. I just hope he doesn't end up like Lu Wuhai. It's okay to stay in school, but it'll be troublesome if he causes trouble. Jiang Chongkong shook his head and chuckled. Ji Xiling smiled. You're a celebrity now. Don't take what they said to heart. You're different from Lu Wuhai. I'll leave Jiang City, but I might not go to the major provinces. Jiang Chongkong shook his head. They arrived at the principal's office. The door was open. Chen Hua was inside, sipping tea with a skinny middle-aged man. The skinny middle-aged man had messy hair and a ruddy face. He was exuding a strong wave of astral power. The peak of the sea of stars. Principal, Uncle Chen, we're back, Ji Xiling said. Come in quickly. The two of them stood up at the same time and beckoned the two of them to enter. The thin middle-aged man said enthusiastically, You must be Chongkong? I am Principal Yu Bailin. Hello, Principal. Hello, Vice Principal. Jiang Chongkong nodded and greeted them. Good, good, good. I can't see through you anymore. Rivertown really has an incredible genius, and he's even from my martial arts school. Yu Bailin patted Jiang Chongkong's shoulder and said excitedly, Your reward has been sent to the school. Sit down and tell me. Jiang Chongkong and Ji Xiling sat down and Chen Hua poured tea for them. Yu Bailin went to the desk, opened the drawer, and took out a piece of paper. The paper recorded the matter of the firearms and the reward for his contribution. There's a slight change in the situation. You successfully stole the criminal evidence. This doesn't affect the credit. It's just that it's not convenient for the person to bring it up. Yu Bailin said. Jiang Chongkong nodded and read the details on the paper. In the end, he killed a few bosses and was attacked by a group of people. Qing Huai also got a share of the credit, but it didn't affect him much. Yu Bailin pointed at the rewards. Look, it's very generous. There were 4 rewards. First, 100 top-notch rank 3-star stones. Just like in his previous life, there would be some bonuses, but not a lot. Second, the military of Rivertown would specially approve the offer. If it was determined that the target had committed a heinous crime or was in the process of committing one, he would have the right to kill first and report later. Other than that, he could mobilize 100 soldiers, including the Centurion. He could order the 100 soldiers to kill the Star Demon, as long as they didn't do anything illegal. He could get half of the profits, only within Rivertown. Third, distribution of jobs. When he reached the Stargate level, he would directly enter a large province and become a small commander. Normally, a small commander would have to be in the early stages of Stargate. Jiang Chongkong was strong enough now. However, it was different for a large province. There was a lot of competition in a large province. It didn't matter. During the early stages of Stargate, he definitely wouldn't be able to become a small commander. Fourth, recommend him to join the large province of Budokai. It was a generous reward, but Jiang Chongkong didn't need it. Oh right, I haven't reported the matter of you getting rid of Zhao Qianjun. However, it won't affect much, so there won't be any rewards. Balin said. I don't care about this bit of credit. Jiang Chongkong shook his head. He wasn't interested in credit anymore. He couldn't exchange it for energy. Chen Hua saw that his expression wasn't right and asked, Why, are you not satisfied? The reward was generous, but geniuses had high standards, just like Lu Wuhai. Balin didn't say anything and just smiled at him. It's not that I'm not satisfied. The reward is generous, but I don't want to be in the army. Jiang Chongkong shook his head. A small commander from a large province. I'm afraid the youngsters of Budokai and Jianghai would want to go there no matter what. Then what do you think? Tell us. Balin said, the school supports independent entrepreneurship. As long as it's not illegal, you can tell us if you have any ideas. Chen Hua added, as long as the school has the ability, you can ask for anything. Jiang Chongkong thought for a while and said what he wanted. I want to be the president of Budokai. On the way, he had asked Ji Xiling and the others about how to be the president, but they didn't know either. They only knew that the president needed to be very strong and a professional martial artist. The two principals. The corner of Ji Xiling's mouth twitched. You've made up your mind. Your heart is set on this. This is very difficult. The two principals looked at each other and smiled bitterly. Very difficult? Jiang Chongkong's eyes lit up. Does that mean there's a way? Let me introduce Budokai to you first. Balin thought for a while and said, Budokai is semi-official. Although there are people from the Federation, they don't interfere. The management is very loose. The president can make his own rules in Budokai. He has a lot of power. Jiang Chongkong listened quietly. The president of Budokai must have the strength of the peak of Stargate. Also, the people in the association must be convinced and willing to listen to you. You can't use force to coerce them. There is a target every year, which is to kill Stargate for the Federation and hand in Starstones. The exact amount is determined according to the size of Budokai. Jiang Chongkong listened to these conditions. In terms of combat power with his current strength, he should not be weaker than the peak of Stargate. Middle-tier martial arts had given him a huge boost. With Vajra stepping on fire and heaven and earth great shift, he was confident that he could not be defeated. It was even possible that he could kill the peak of Stargate. However, what the other party wanted was the realm, not combat power. Can we build a Budokai ourselves? Jiang Chongkong asked. In theory, any city can build a Budokai, but if we can't meet the target, the president needs the peak of Stargate, Balin said. I will definitely be the peak of Stargate in the future. Jiang Chongkong said in a low voice. I can give up all these military rewards. I just want to be the president of Budokai. Ji Xiling. Alright, you've gone completely crazy. Chen Hua's expression changed slightly. He reprimanded, Chongkong, what nonsense are you talking about? If you can go to a big province and become a small commander, you will be much more glorious than the president of Budokai. Vice Principal, I have my own ideas. I know what I am doing. Jiang Chongkong said lightly. Whether it was a small commander or a big province, Budokai, they all had to be restrained. However, the president was different. He was not restrained. He could do whatever he wanted. It was his own team. His thinking was similar to Lu Wuhai. He would rather be the head of a chicken than the tail of a cow. However, he was confident that he could support Budokai by himself. More importantly, these credits could not be exchanged for starstones. The president's identity could give him energy. Chapter 100. Yang Cherngan, this super genius, he had finally seen it for himself. He had provoked Wang Ping and was chased all the way to Rivertown. He had asked around on the way. Geniuses from Rivertown and the other 3 cities were not high up in Gangshui Castle. Gangshui Castle dared to say that Rivertown was a remote place. What about a big province? Which corner of the world was Rivertown? Have you really made up your mind? Balin frowned. He did not want Jiang Chongkong to give up this opportunity. He was going straight to a big province. For ordinary people, even for a principal like him, it was a chance to rise to the top. I've made up my mind. Plus, I'm already in the early stages of Stargate, Jiang Chongkong said firmly. Early stages of Stargate? Balin and Chen Hua were shocked. Jiang Chongkong nodded. He no longer hid his strength. His astral power fluctuated and an aura that surpassed the peak of the galaxy gushed out. The two principals felt pressured by the astral power and their bodies sank. Good. Balin laughed. I'll pull some strings for you and get Budokai established. Jiang Chongkong said. It's good that you can do it. Thank you, Principal. Of course you can. You have the talent. The establishment of Budokai will be of great benefit to Rivertown. Balin stood up. There's no time to lose. I'll make a move now. Wait patiently. We'll hear from you in 5 days. Thank you, Principal. Jiang Chongkong thanked him again. Balin could not hide his smile. Don't thank me. You have the talent and the school will support you. Plus, the stronger you are, the higher your status is, the better it will be for me. The rewards from the Federation will be more than enough for me. The Martial Arts Exchange Conference is coming soon. I'll bring you there. You'll make the school proud. The Federation would reward those who nurtured talent. The stronger Jiang Chongkong was, the higher his status would be, and the more generous the reward would be. Not to mention Budokai, as long as Jiang Chongkong had the ability, even if he wanted a better position than a junior commander, he would support it. Jiang Chongkong replied solemnly, I will not disappoint you. After the discussion, Jiang Chongkong and Ji Xiling left. Principal Balin was in charge of Budokai. He wasn't strong enough, so he had no choice but to use his battle merits to exchange for it. Thus, he could only rely on the principal. Balin's network might not be big, but with his contribution this time, there should be no problem. Ji Xiling walked beside him and couldn't help but ask, Why do you want to be the president? It's better to be the head of a chicken than the back of a cow. Moreover, it gives the martial artists of Rivertown a place to go. Jiang Chongkong said calmly, Senior, if it's done, are you willing to join the association? How can I refuse a brother's invitation? Ji Xiling put her arm around his shoulder. We're good brothers for life. Jiang Chongkong glanced at her chest. It was a pity that she was a woman. When they returned to the hut, Pang Yun and the others were eating. Yanxue was eating her rice bowl. Seeing them return, Pang Yun immediately stood up. Brother Chongkong, let's fight again. Jiang Chongkong was speechless. How persistent. What reward? Is it a big province? Yanxue raised her head and asked. I don't want a reward. I want to be the president. Jiang Chongkong told them everything. Rivertown, Budokai? The 6 of them were stunned. They thought that Jiang Chongkong was just joking. They didn't expect him to really do it. Are you out of your mind? The leader of a big province, Budokai, the president of Gangshui Castle, you can't even imagine it. Fong Lin and Yang Chengan said at the same time. No matter where you go, it's all about your own strength. With this strength, it's the same everywhere. Jiang Chongkong said lightly, Senior Yang Chengan, if it's done, are you willing to join Rivertown, Budokai? Yang Chengan said without hesitation, if it's done, I'm naturally willing to fight for Budokai with all my might. I'll join too, Yanxue said. Can I join? Pang Yun interrupted. Jiang Chongkong was stunned. Aren't you from Gangshui Castle, Budokai? Pang Yun pouted. It's boring to not be valued there. Sister Xiling said that you're very loyal. Ji Xiling's eyes flashed, and she said with a smile, Brother Fong Lin, Sister Li Shuiyun, will you join? The two of them looked at each other and hesitated. We'll think about it. Humans strive for higher ground, and water flows to lower ground. Both of them wanted to climb higher and reach a bigger platform. Jiang Changkong did not force them. "Let's fight again," Pang Yun said impatiently. Jiang Changkong wanted to reject her, but when he thought of the battle with Wang Peng, he agreed. Pang Yun was very excited. She quickly drew her sword and prepared to fight. Yanxue and the rest retreated to the side to make space for them to fight. Jiang Changkong stood with his hands behind his back. This time, he used a few more moves. Wildfire Blade. The first move was an ultimate move. Its power increased by a few times, and it was much stronger than before. Jiang Changkong did not dodge. His sharp eyes could clearly see the trajectory of the long sword. His ears trembled. The sound of the long sword slicing through the air and the trajectory of the long sword appeared in his mind, forming a mysterious picture. His target was his own head. A strange feeling came over him. Jiang Changkong slowly stretched out 2 fingers. Everyone trembled and looked at the 2 of them in shock. Jiang Changkong seemed to have expected it. He stopped his fingers and put the long sword up. Ding! The long sword stopped 3 inches above his head. It felt the same. He could predict the enemy's moves. Jiang Changkong was excited. He did not know that there was such a benefit to having his 5 senses enhanced. His sense of danger had increased by many times. Again, Jiang Changkong let go of the long sword and said calmly, "Okay." Pang Yun drew her sword back and attacked again. This time, he changed his attack method. His body was like a ghost, and his sword was like a phantom. Jiang Changkong's eyes were sharp. His real body could be seen clearly among the phantoms. His waist. He pointed his finger and accurately hit the long sword that was coming for his waist. His astral powers pushed Pang Yun back. Boring. We are not on the same level. It's so boring. Ji Xiling was bored. She might as well go back to her room and read some books. Yanxue nodded in agreement. The gap between them was too big. Pang Yun could not even take one move. If it were someone else, they would not be in the mood to fight. But Pang Yun was not an ordinary person. He kept on fighting until he defeated his opponent. In order to hone his ability to predict the enemy's moves, Jiang Changkong was happy to let him experience a few more defeats. Soon, Ji Xiling and Yanxue took Fong Lin and the others to visit the school. Yang Chengan followed them. He had to take a good look at his alma mater. Outside the cottage, the 2 continued to fight until Pang Yun was exhausted. He lay on the ground, panting. "We'll continue tomorrow," Jiang Changkong said calmly. "Xiao, we'll continue when you're done," Pang Yun panted. "As long as you're fine." Jiang Changkong smiled. After dinner, Jiang Changkong continued to practice with Pang Yun. Late at night, when Jiang Changkong returned to his room and was about to take a bath and sleep, Yang Chengan arrived. Yang Chengan went straight into his room and took out a glass bottle. Inside was a pool of golden liquid. Essence, Qi, and Spirit, 2000. Withdraw? Jiang Changkong's eyebrows twitched. 2000? This was the same essence, Qi, and Spirit as the star stones of the hidden star realm. Yang Chengan passed it to him. "For you. This is the treasure." "What is this?" Jiang Changkong was slightly curious. Ordinary medicines did not contain essence, Qi, and Spirit. Otherwise, he would have made medicines long ago. A medicine made from a drop of diluted blood. Jiang Changkong. Diluted blood? Or a drop? What level was this? How long had it been? It had not dissipated, and he could still extract essence, Qi, and Spirit. Was it processed? Where did it come from? Jiang Changkong looked at the glass bottle with a burning gaze. A medicine made from a drop of diluted blood contains so much essence, Qi, and Spirit. How much essence, Qi, and Spirit could a living being contain? Yang Chengan pondered and said, "The one who fought with brother Wang Peng for it in Budokai. The specific origin should be the land of distorted starlight." "Sit down and tell me the details." Jiang Changkong hurriedly asked him to sit down. Land of distorted starlight. Pang Yun had said that there were 3 spots for the martial arts exchange, and Budokai had 5 spots. Chapter 101. When the world changed, the starlight fell. There were all kinds of things in the endless starlight. The starlight distorted the space in some areas, and those things were hidden in the distorted land. In the distorted land, normal technological weapons would fail, including the star power bombs. There was no signal on the phone. Once the star power bomb was used, the star power wouldn't explode. Instead, it would dissipate and merge with the distorted space. The strangest thing was that the distorted space didn't look like anything on the surface. But once you went deeper, the space inside was distorted. If you moved in a straight line, you might return to the starting point or go somewhere else. Until now, the Federation had only been researching how to get out and sense each other. The golden blood was one of the treasures produced in the distorted land, and there was a lot of it. Basically, a few drops could be taken out every year. As for the other treasures, unless you were lucky, it was hard to find them. Someone had once obtained something beyond the 6th rank, which caused a sensation in Jianghai and even alerted the overlords of the major provinces. How much diluted is this drop of blood? Jiang Chongkong asked. Yang Chungan thought for a moment and said, I heard that it's at least 10 times. 10 times? Jiang Chongkong was breathing heavily. 10 times? If that's the case, 1 drop of blood is worth 20,000? Every year, he would be able to bring out a few drops. Even if it was only 3 drops, it would be 60,000 essence, energy, and spirit points. Is it dangerous inside? Jiang Chongkong asked. Yang Chungan said, some places might hide the star demon, and some places are filled with treasures or traps formed by intertwining star power. But that's nothing for you. The biggest danger in the Gangshui Castle is the early stage of the Stargate. Jiang Chongkong thought for a moment and asked, Senior, you should know about Budokai. How do we calculate the quota? The top 3 martial arts schools in the 5 cities of Jianghai. Yang Chungan said. Is there any way to take all 3 spots? Jiang Chongkong asked again. Yang Chungan rolled his eyes. No. After some more discussion, Yang Chungan left his things behind and left. Jiang Chongkong did not refuse the bottle of medicine. He flipped his hand and took out a jade pendant. This was Wang Peng's jade pendant. The space inside wasn't big, only 10 cubic meters. Most of the things inside were clothes, as well as over 100 star stones. 1 piece of early Stargate, 100 pieces of Galaxy Pinnacle, and 20 pieces of high quality. Gangshui Castle had the money. Even if all the big shots in Jiang City pooled their money together, they might not be able to gather enough. Just look at Wang Peng. Currently, the Star Sea Peak Star Stone only had 40 essence, chi, and spirit, while high-grade star stones had 30. Including the gold potions, there was a total of 6,600. After some thought, he upgraded the invincible Vajra divine art and maxed out the entry point. The astral power in his body surged, and the Stargate swallowed the majestic astral power. The golden Stargate became more solid. His strength had also increased greatly, and his 5 senses had also become a little stronger, but not much. Jiang Chongkong. Early Stargate, middle rank lower grade martial art, invincible Vajra divine art, beginner 5000/5000 Tai Chi mysterious art, entry January 5000 3 strokes of grace, entry January 5000 blazing sun art, entry January 5000 Yuling art, entry January 5000 essence, energy, spirit, 2. 9:59 After the upgrade, Jiang Chongkong stabilized his power and took a shower. The next morning, Chen Hua sent him a message. He forgot to tell him yesterday that the Starlight Meteoric Iron had arrived. The school had decided to give him all the Starlight Meteoric Iron. In addition, the school had also prepared some 4th-rank materials for him to forge weapons with the Starlight Meteoric Iron. Jiang Chongkong didn't hesitate and contacted Tang Ruoshi. He had promised her to forge weapons for him. As a straight-A student in Kaxiang, He could forge a 4th-rank weapon with enough materials. You're my brother. Let me know if you need any equipment in the future. Tang Ruashi left with the starlight meteoric iron and the materials. She promised to forge a high-grade 4th-rank weapon for him. He had wanted to treat her to a meal, but she was clearly not normal. After getting the materials, he turned around and left without saying a word. She would definitely be a workaholic in the future. Jiang Chongkong muttered in his heart and continued to practice martial arts with Pang Yun. They rested when they were tired. Ji Xiling brought Fong Lin and the others around. They even went to Wu City for a walk. She showed off her and Senior Yenshue's territory. Although it wasn't big, it was their own business. Fong Lin and the others were envious. Jiang Chongkong would occasionally log on to the school's network and read a lot of news. Lu Wu died in prison not long after he entered the customs. Zhao Qianjun ruled it a suicide. Zhao Qianjuan's case was also spread. The soldiers handed in the evidence, which gave Jiang Chongkong another huge credit. Another day passed and Principal Yu Balin returned. He came to the small house with a smile. Principal. Jiang Chongkong hurried out to greet him. Yu Balin stopped smiling and said in a deep voice, Chongkong, the matter in Budokai has been settled. You have 2 choices now. Go ahead, Jiang Chongkong said politely. 1. Ordinary Budokai. Only level 1 authority is unlocked. You can view and accept starship-level missions. You will receive an additional 1% commission. 2. Level 2 authority is unlocked. You can view and accept missions above Star Chi but below Star Spirit. You will receive an additional 2% commission. Yu Balin said. Of course you choose the second option, Jiang Chongkong said. I can't do level 2. I'll need the captain to do it. Yu Balin said. Then you'll need to pay a price or make some changes. Jiang Chongkong said warily. Pay what price? As long as it's not star stones or your body, everything can be discussed. Yu Balin's face darkened. Star stones were normal. Body? You've been with women for too long and you've been contaminated? It's like this. I've talked to the captain and he has some ideas. If you give the credit to Zhao Qianjun, he'll definitely help you. Moreover, he'll take responsibility for the death of Chu Tianxing from the Chu family. It'll put some pressure on the Chu family. Yu Balin said in a low voice. Jiang Chongkong frowned. If you give it to him, he'll definitely succeed? Yu Balin said, definitely. He has a lot of connections. Moreover, the captain promised that if you need anything in the future, he'll definitely do it for you as long as it's within his power. Is the credit so tempting? Jiang Chongkong curled his lips. Yu Balin said with a smile, he's the captain, and Zhao Qianjun is his subordinate. He doesn't know people well. Also, the credit for the firearms case was divided. As a captain, he didn't do much. Isn't he anxious? I see. Jiang Chongkong suddenly understood. Anyway, it's a change of president. As long as we succeed, it doesn't matter who gets the credit. He didn't know much about the Chu family. If he gave the credit to the captain, it would fall to him. He could buy some time for himself. Good. With your words, it should be done by tomorrow morning. Yu Balin nodded and left. Jiang Chongkong sighed inwardly. He had thrown all the credit at once. He hoped that the position of president wouldn't disappoint him. As he continued to train with Pang Yun, Jiang Chongkong completely mastered the sense of danger. In battle, he could predict the enemy's movements. Even if someone was spying on him from afar, he would be able to sense it. After a day of training, Jiang Chongkong ate and went to sleep. In the morning, Yu Balin woke Jiang Chongkong up. The principal was very excited. Holding a small black booklet and a golden plate, she dragged him out of bed. It's done. Wake up, my president, Yu Balin said excitedly. It's done. Jiang Chongkong's face lit up with joy as he took the black notebook. President of Jiangqing Budokai, Jiang Chongkong. Ordinary Budokai. Authority, Level 2. Give 500 top-tier third-grade star stones to the Federation every year. Redeem them with credit. 3 years of star stone exemption. This was so generous that 3 years of star stone exemption. Jiang Chongkong was very satisfied. Privilege. Without a special warrant from the Federation, no one has the right to investigate the president of Budokai. Even the army and the law enforcement bureau can't. If the president endangers his own safety, he can kill the enemy at any time and place. This privilege was not bad. In the future, if anyone provoked him in the city, he could kill them. Federation Budokai official website. He logged in with his ID. The golden token was only half the size of a palm. One side was Jiangqing, and the other side was the president. There was a red button in the center. I won't disturb you anymore. You can check it first, the principal said excitedly and turned to leave. Jiang Chongkong glanced at him. He could still hear the principal muttering, I have Budokai in Jiangqing now, although it's the smallest. Forget it. I'll go to the official website to see if there are any good things. Chapter 102. On the Budokai official website there were 3 sections: missions, communication, and exchange. Jiang Chongkong clicked on the missions section to check the missions. Normal mission. Jianghai Province, 100 miles east of Gangshui Castle. Find a star-level star demon and guard a 5th-grade spirit herb. Obtained spirit herb. Reward points, 3,000. Gangshui Castle, 50 miles north of Gangshui Castle. Starship level special star demon. Sell special star stones to the Federation. Reward points, 800. Gangshui Castle Military. Buy 1,000 star-level low-grade star stones. Reward points, 300. Normal mission. Exterminate the hundreds of star demons that are wreaking havoc in the Water Cloud Mountain. The strongest is at the initial stage of the star door. Time limit, 5 months. Reward points. Star stones belong to Budokai. Reward points, 1,000. Small-scale mission. Kill 5,000 star-level star demon. Reward points, 5,000. Time limit, 3 months. Large-scale mission. A small mine near Gangshui Castle. Find the strongest star-level star demon. Other star demons. Time limit, none. Reward points, 30,000. Large-scale mission. Kill 10,000 early-stage Stargate star demon. Reward points, 15,000. Time limit, 5 months. Jiang Chongkong clicked on the exchange section. He only had level 2 authority, so he could only look at level 2 items. There were martial arts, medicine, and some technological products. Most of these technological products were auxiliary. There wasn't a single one of them that could kill. Moreover, they were limited to the star spirit level. He then clicked on the communication section. A pop-up window popped up. Insufficient authority. Please upgrade to small-scale Budokai. Upgrade yes/no? Jiang Chongkong. Damn it. I don't even have the authority to speak. No, I don't have the authority to see what people say. Forget it. I'm not the president for the sake of **T. But what's with this upgrade? Jiang Chongkong clicked no and clicked into the personal center, where there was an introduction to Budokai. Budokai was divided into normal, small, large, epic, and special. Excluding the guild leader, there were 5 normal Budokai members, and the weakest of them was at the pinnacle of Stargate. This was something he had obtained through his contributions, so he had lowered the requirements a little. Small Budokai, not including the president, there were 50 people. Large Budokai, 100 people. Epic Budokai, unlimited number of players. Special Budokai. Budokai that cooperates with the Federation in private. This was the only explanation that could be used to secretly cooperate with the Federation. It was enough to show how powerful he was. Budokai upgrade method. Please have 10,000 points first. What a fraud. Jiang Chongkong almost smashed his computer. Can I not do this? However, when he saw the exchange of points for potions, he decided not to smash the computer and continue working. Among the potions, there was the one that Yang Chungon had given him. One bottle cost 2,000 essence, chi, and spirit. 10,000 points. Number of exchanges, unlimited. Complete missions, earn points, and extract essence, chi, and spirit. Although the points seemed more difficult to obtain, and it was not as good as killing the Star Demon, it was free. He could do the Star Demon mission and wipe out the Star Demon. The Star Stones were his, and he could also get points. The president would reward him with an additional 200 points, and he would get an additional 2 points. 1,000 points would be 20 points, and 10,000 points would be 200 points. If the group took on a mission, the points would be divided equally. If all the members did the missions, and they did a few more missions, the income would be considerable. If they did the missions themselves, there would be an additional commission. Moreover, these missions had to be accepted by the president and given to the members. Only then would they have the authority to accept them. If the president did not accept the mission, the members could only watch and not know. The president had the authority to manage his own budokai. If there was a scum with evidence, he could be arrested and handed over to the Federation. If necessary, he could be killed. Of course, under normal circumstances, the president would not kill the members. Budokai members had the right to report. If a member reported, the Federation would investigate the president. This is already very good. If there is one type of medicine, there will be a second one. Jiang Chongkong pondered. He should pay more attention to the medicine. When he had enough points, Ji Xiling and the rest could exchange for it. He could take a look. He played with the token in his hand and looked at the introduction of the president's token on the official website. Other than being a symbol of identity, the token also had a starlight monitoring device hidden inside. When the red button was pressed, the monitoring device the size of a fly would automatically fly out. This was used to record the mission. After completing the mission, the video had to be uploaded and verified by the Federation. Ordinary members could only get their own monitoring device. Some special missions did not require a video. For example, special star stones, elixirs, and so on. Jiang Chongkong continued to look at the Budokai website. When members wanted to join, he would send a link to them and let them register. Other than himself, there were 5 people. 2 senior sisters, Pang Yun and Yang Chungon. That would make 4. There was still one more slot left. After thinking about it, he gave it to Tang Ruoshi. This top student of Science Yang would be very useful. Even if she did not do missions, she would be of great help in forging weapons and processing star stones in the future. He just did not know if Tang Ruoshi would agree. She was still forging weapons and did not reply for the time being. The 2 senior sisters, Ji Xiling, immediately started to register. Yang Chungon and Pang Yun also started to register. However, they had to cancel the Budokai Gangshui Castle first. They could directly cancel it on the official website. It was convenient. After sending the link, Jiang Chongkong was not surprised that Fong Lin and Li Shuyun did not join. Instead, he felt a little lucky. Fortunately, they did not agree. Otherwise, there would not be enough slots. Ordinary members did not have a book. They only needed to register. Jiang Chongkong continued to look at the missions. He created a science internet group and added them in. There were many missions that he liked, but they were all small or large Budokai. There were relatively few ordinary missions that he liked. Killing the Star Demon at MT Water Cloud was one of them. Until noon, he picked out a few missions. They were all killing the Star Demon near Gangshui Castle. There were no missions in Rivertown at all. He was about to go to the canteen to get food when Shin Jiangxing called. He asked him to eat at Xingyi Hotel. The 2 senior sisters and Fong Lin were hanging around elsewhere. He could only go by himself. He became the undisputed #1 master of Rivertown in Stargate. Entering the private room of Xingyi Hotel, an unfamiliar middle-aged man greeted him. "Chongkong, it's an honor to meet you." This is? Jiang Chongkong looked at the middle-aged man in surprise and then at the others. Shen Jiangxing, Liang Zhe, and Chen Huai were all there. This is the Major, Jiang Haichuan. Qing Huai explained. Jiang Chongkong immediately cupped his fist. So it's the Major. Nice to meet you. There's no need to be so polite. Take a seat. Thank you very much. Jiang Haichuan invited him to sit and smiled. I organized this meal. From now on in Rivertown, Brother Jiang is my younger brother. Jiang Chongkong. Am I considered the second in Rivertown? The Major of Rivertown was definitely the top dog. I still have to thank the Major for your help this time. That's how I managed to establish Budokai. Jiang Chongkong thanked him. Everyone laughed. Now it's time to call you Chang Kaisheng. You have a bright future. If you can upgrade Budokai to a large one, your status will be no lower than a small commander in a large province. Qing Huai said, Brother Jiang, do you have any thoughts about Starlight Distorted Land as the president? Of course. I will go to the martial arts conference, Jiang Chongkong said. Jiang Haichuan smiled faintly. I'm talking about Budokai. Jiang Chongkong was taken aback. 5 places? Yes. 5 places are for Jianghai Budokai, not just for Gangshui Castle. All this time, only Rivertown has Budokai. That's why they've occupied all of it. Jiang Haichuan said in a low voice, I'm just saying. If you can fight, fight. If you can't, fight when you can. That's right. Martial arts resources are all fought for. If you don't fight, who cares if you live or die? Shen Jiangxing interrupted. Chapter 103. After the meal, Jiang Haichuan made an appointment to continue eating in the evening. Jiang Chongkong had nothing to do recently, so he ate, drank, and made some connections. Just like that, he spent every day eating and drinking. On the 5th day, Jiang Haichuan had to leave due to official business. Liang Zhe and the others also left to tend to their own businesses. On the 3rd day, Fang Lin and the others left, followed by Pang Yun. Only Yang Chengan did not leave. He was originally from Rivertown, so he planned to stay for a while. Tang Ruashi came and went straight into the hut he was in. Ji Xiling was admiring the book. When she saw her, she quickly stood up. Babe Ruashi. Babe Xiling, do you want to know armor-making knowledge or weapon-making knowledge? Tang Ruashi was all smiles. Ji Xiling was speechless. No more love. Senior Ruashi. Jiang Chongkong walked out of his room. Is the weapon ready? Yes, it's at the peak of the 4th rank. Tang Ruashi took out a golden hilt and handed it to him. Jiang Chongkong infused his astral power and the blade popped out. The pale golden blade was carved with many patterns. There was a dragon pattern on the hilt and a flame symbol. There were 2 small words on the blade, Chongkong. Thank you, Senior Ruashi. Are you willing to join Budokai? Jiang Chongkong took the long blade and asked. Tang Ruashi said, Of course I'm willing. I've already registered. I saw the mission you sent in the group. But I can't do the mission. I'll be leaving Rivertown in half a month. Ji Xiling quickly asked, Where are you going? Didn't I say it before? Assistant Professor at the Scientific Research Institute of the Federation in Anding Province. Tang Ruashi smiled. The school spent a lot of effort to find it for me. So soon? I can't bear to. Jiang Chongkong was very reluctant. This was a talent and he still wanted to poach him. I'm also very reluctant to part with you, but there's no other way. For the sake of living and for the sake of knowledge. Tang Ruashi said helplessly, One day, when you become a big shot in the Federation, invest in a research institute for me. I will definitely come over. Jiang Chongkong's heart skipped a beat. Really? Tang Ruashi said, Really? I still owe you a favor. Besides, if possible, who would want to go to another province to suffer? All right, it's settled then. It won't be long before I poach you over. Jiang Chongkong said with certainty. If you really become a big shot, I'll bring you a team. All right, I'll take my leave first. Tang Ruashi waved her hand and turned to leave. Bring a team over? I'm just afraid that your team won't be enough. Ji Xiling glanced at him with an unfriendly gaze. Little Chongkong, you've gone too far. What's wrong? Jiang Chongkong was startled. It's said that one shouldn't bully a brother's wife. We're brothers, but you actually want to steal Ruashi from me, Ji Xiling said angrily. Jiang Chongkong, why do you think that I'm as filthy as you? You're thinking too much. What I value is her talent, Jiang Chongkong said seriously. Ji Xiling said with dissatisfaction, so, you want to steal her? No, I want a team to help me process the star stones in the future. Jiang Chongkong explained with a headache, after I leave the university, I'll have to pay for the processing of the star stones. So be it. I don't care about the commission. Wait, you want a team to process the star stones for you? Ji Xiling's eyes widened. How many star stones are you planning to get? One team is not enough, Jiang Chongkong said in a deep voice. One team is not enough? Is your brain damaged? Jiang Chongkong said seriously, Senior, I have a small goal. I want to build a city first. Ji Xiling, small goal? Build a city first? Your big goal? How many do you plan to build? She suddenly remembered the last gathering. Tang Ruashi wanted to go to Anding province. She was going there now. When they talked about Jiang Chongkong, she asked him to go to a big province and get credit for building a city. This guy changed the topic at that time not because he wasn't interested, but because he wanted to build it himself. Ji Xiling frowned. You know how to manage development? Do you know where the veins are? There are small veins on Budokai's official website. Although it's not enough to support the development of the city. But as Budokai levels up, there will be news about medium veins or even large veins. Jiang Chongkong said seriously, as for management, isn't there a lot of talented people in Jiangcheng? Talented people in Jiangcheng? Ji Xiling was stunned. Captains Jiang Chuan, Shen Jiangxing, Liang Zhe, and Principal Yu Bailin. Jiang Chongkong smiled. If a new city is built, who will refuse a huge cake? If they don't go, how can I sell it to them? This was also the reason why he went to dinner parties. If he was like the other geniuses, he wouldn't need to make friends with these people. If he wanted to build a city, he would need manpower, materials, and troop. His old acquaintances in Jiangcheng were obviously more reliable. Moreover, after the city was built, the profits would be huge. Processing star stones was free and fast. Plus, he would get a share of the taxes collected by the city. If the city developed well, there would be all kinds of gifts. He would also get a share of the good stuff that the Federation distributed to each city every year. For example, the Starlight Meteoric Iron this time. When the time came, he could give it to whoever he wanted. Once he reached an agreement with the martial arts school, he would be able to get the processed star stones no matter where he went. Once it was done, he could exchange unprocessed star stones for processed ones and directly extract essence, chi, and spirit. Also, he could sell such a large piece of land for star stones. In the future, he would need more and more star stones to level up. If he relied on himself to kill, how long would it take for him to level up? You've thought of all this, but who will be crazy with you? You want to count on the people of Jiangcheng to help you conquer a piece of land and become king? Ji Xiling frowned. No need. I can do it myself, Jiang Chongkong said calmly. I can open a city by myself. It's enough. Ji Xiling. Open a city by yourself? Are you crazy? Forget it. I won't talk to you anymore. As long as you don't fight with me for Ruashi. Ji Xiling saw that she couldn't persuade him, so she stopped talking. What about you, senior sister? I haven't asked you. Are you also from Gangshui Castle? Jiang Chongkong asked. Yes. I couldn't survive in Gangshui Castle, so I transferred to another school. Ji Xiling shrugged and said calmly, many people are like that. They can't survive in big places, so they can only look for small places. Jiang Changkong asked. What's your plan for the future? Will you be assigned to another province? When you finish building the city, give me a piece of land, Ji Xiling said with narrowed eyes. Okay. I'll give you a big piece of land, Jiang Changkong said with a smile. Ji Xiling chuckled and said, the martial arts exchange meet will be held in a month. You should get ready too. I want to leave first, Jiang Changkong said, holding the saber. Leave first. Ji Xiling raised her eyebrows. I accepted the mission to eliminate the star demon of Cloudwater Mountain. I won't bid farewell to the principal. I'll leave later. Jiang Changkong turned on his phone and logged into Budokai's official website. He had already gotten his weapon and built a good relationship. There was no point in staying in Jiangqing anymore. Ji Xiling's expression froze. Be careful. Wang Peng must have contacted someone to deal with you. I'll be careful. See you in Gangshui Castle. Jiang Changkong went back to his room to pack up after he finished speaking. Ji Xiling went to Senior Yenshue's place to get some jerky for him. Hearing that he was leaving, Yang Chungan came over. Together? You go with them. I'll leave first, Jiang Changkong said. Jiang Changkong paused for a moment before continuing. Senior Chungan, help me take care of junior brother Li Qiuchuan for the next few days. The object manipulation technique was very powerful. He asked Yang Chungan to take care of him on his behalf. Yang Chungan nodded. Be careful. Jiang Changkong carried 3 backpacks and left the school. 1 backpack, clothes, 1 water, and 1 food. After leaving the city, he threw the backpack into the hidden star ring and the jade pendant. He planned to walk to Cloudwater Mountain. With the map navigation on his phone, he did not have to worry about getting lost. The navigation also indicated the strength of the star demon along the way. He chose the safest route, the strongest peak of Stargate. 1 month was enough for him to complete the mission and rush to Gangshui Castle. Chapter 104. He left Jiang City. Jiang Changkong slaughtered along the way. Under the control of the object manipulation art, the long sword flew by itself. The cosmic cloud state star demon was incinerated, leaving behind only star stones. He stored them in the space jade pendant. These didn't have any essence chi. It would be a waste to throw them away. He could also trade them for some money or level 3 star stones. If 10-to-1 didn't work, then he would trade them for 10s-to-1. The star demons in the starry sea first extracted their essence, chi, and spirit before burning them. As the scorching flame art evolved to scorching sun art, its flame power had increased by countless times. The temperature was terrifying. It was like a small sun when it was fully unleashed. Stunning sword with mystic yang blade. Tai Chi painting with object manipulation art, universe grand shift. Some star demon that charged at him died in his hands. It looked like suicide. Jiang Changkong's speed was very fast. He executed the mystic yang step and walked on the sun. Roar. Roars resounded as all of them turned into ashes. Protecting the environment was everyone's responsibility. The smelly corpses weren't left behind. A day later, Jiang Changkong was far away from Jiang City. He only obtained 200 essence chi. According to my speed, I should be able to reach Mountain Water Cloud in about 8 days. Jiang Changkong looked at the time and decided to travel through the night. The strongest star demon was only at the peak of Stargate. He could deal with it. The star demon appeared more often at night, so he could obtain more essence chi. After making his decision, Jiang Changkong continued on his way. Not long after, Jiang Changkong encountered the Galaxy Star Demon team. They were in the middle phase of the Galaxy Sea Realm. With a wave of his hand, a sword ray flashed. It was so fast that it was almost invisible. The stunning sword instantly annihilated the Star Demon team, extracting essence, chi, and spirit, burning them to ashes. The harvest at night was more abundant. There were more than 400 essence chi. It was almost twice as much as during the day. Jiang Chongkong decided to travel at night and rest for a few hours during the day before continuing his journey. This way, they would be able to save time on the road. They would be able to reach Mt. Watercloud in about 5 days. Every day, he could steadily accumulate more than 600 points of essence, qi, and spirit. 3,000 points in 5 days, plus the previous 2,900 points. On the 4th day, it would be enough for him to upgrade another martial art. For 4 consecutive days, Jiang Chongkong had gathered enough essence, qi, and spirit to fully master the entry level of the Tai Chi mysterious art. As the Tai Chi mysterious art leveled up, the stargate in his body spat out majestic star power, and the stargate became more solid. The Taiji Qi circulated in Xiao Chen's body, nourishing his internal organs and strengthening his physique. When he looked inside himself, he could see some incomplete golden lines hidden in his flesh. All he had to do was wait for his invincible Vajra divine art to reach perfection and form the power pattern. After cultivating for a while and stabilizing his cultivation, Jiang Chongkong looked at the map. The Cloud Water Mountain was approaching, but unfortunately, they did not encounter the Star Demon at the peak of Stargate. He still wanted to practice on the Star Demon. Looking at the sky, Zhang Xian realized that it was almost noon. He took out some jerky and was about to leave when he suddenly stopped in his tracks. His ears trembled, and a weak voice came from afar. "I am from the Qinyun Demon Hunters. If you know what's good for you, hand over your valuables." "The Blue Cloud Hunters? That captain is from the initial Stargate team?" The voice was filled with fear. "Kid, since you know, I will not waste any more time. The rule of the underworld is that you will not be killed if you hand over the money. Junior brothers, you have just arrived at Gangshui Castle, so you don't know about this. The Blue Cloud Hunters are ferocious and cannot be provoked. Hurry up and hand over your valuables to them. They are very trustworthy and will not kill you if you get the items." The voice continued. "The route is a little off, but it's time to go and take a look." Jiang Chongkong closed his eyes and listened for a moment. After confirming the direction, he started walking. The voice continued to sound in his ears, but it was filled with panic. "Senior, Gangshui Castle, are we not going to deal with them? Senior, we don't have money. You also know that Jiangyan City is a small place. Junior, dealing with them is the business of the big shots of Gangshui Castle. How can I interfere? It's my fault. I shouldn't have brought you out today. I only have these star stones with me. These star stones are only enough to buy your life. Those kids don't have star stones. Don't you still have weapons?" The Blue Cloud Hunters, 3 burly men, looked at them fiercely. The 3 of them were all at the peak of Star Sea Realm, and were very strong. The targets of their robbery were 5 students. One of them was a student from Gangshui Castle at the early stage of Star Sea Realm. The other 4 were from Jiangyan City and were only at the peak of Star Cloud Peak. These weapons were given by the school. "We can't, junior brothers, at this time. Your life is more important," the Gangshui Castle student said anxiously. "Kid, you have seen through everything. What are you hesitating for?" The 3 men sneered. The 4 of them were panicking. They were geniuses in Jiangyan City and had never encountered such a situation. The 3 men were at the peak of Star Sea Realm. Coupled with the words of their senior from Gangshui Castle, they were completely confused. Wee boom! Suddenly, a saber aura pierced through the air. The powerful star force spread in all directions. Dust flew everywhere. The nearby weeds could not withstand the impact and turned into powder. The 3 men at the peak of Star Sea Realm looked serious. Fortunately, the star force was not very strong and did not affect them. Who dares to interfere in the affairs of Blue Cloud Hunters? The 3 men's faces turned cold and shouted coldly. "How much money are you going to spend to buy your lives?" The weeds not far away swayed. Jiang Chongkong walked out slowly with a long saber in his right hand. "Where did this kid come from?" The 3 men's eyes were cold. Although they could not see through Jiang Chongkong, they were not afraid. There were many things that could hide the star force. He was so young and could not be too strong. Jiang Chongkong didn't bother with them. He looked at the students of Riverwater City and said, "This show is pretty good. Are you in cahoots with them?" "Senior, you." The four men's faces changed. They looked at the student from Gangshui Castle in fear. "What nonsense are you talking about? How can I be with them?" The student from Gangshui Castle said angrily. "Heh, if you are not with them, why are you in such a hurry to get them to hand over their things? Since when did the student from Gangshui Castle become so cowardly? Do you dare to let me see your phone records?" Jiang Chongkong said coldly. The student from Gangshui Castle said unnaturally, "Who do you think you are? Why should I let you see it?" "Feeling guilty?" Jiang Chongkong said indifferently. As soon as he finished his words, there was a sound of wind breaking. A sense of danger came from above. A burly man gathered his star force and slashed at Jiang Chongkong's head with a broadsword. "I wanted to spare your lives. Now, all of you will die." "Brother, be careful," the four students from Jiang Yunqing Castle shouted at the same time. Jiang Chongkong's eyes were still fixed on the student from Gangshui Castle. He did not dodge the broadsword, as if he did not see it. "So, it's just for show." The burly man was overjoyed and increased his strength. Clang! The broadsword fell steadily, but it was as if it had hit a hard alloy. There was a huge counterforce. The broadsword flew out of the burly man's hand. He took several steps back and said in shock, "How is this possible? You still can't recognize me. It seems that you don't take me seriously. You can't even recognize me, the president." Jiang Chongkong said coldly. Then, a saber light flashed, looking like the rising sun. There was no horrifying heat, only a gentle warmth. One broadsword split into three, and in an instant, the throats of 3 people were slashed. A burning smell came. The warm light disappeared, and everything returned to normal. The 3 people at the pinnacle of Star Sea Realm collapsed. Dead. The 5 students were shocked. 3 people at the pinnacle of Star Sea Realm died in one move? The president of Budokai. This is the president of Gangshui Castle Budokai? The pinnacle of Stargate? What do you want? The student from Gangshui Castle stepped back in fear because Jiang Chongkong was looking at him. "What's your name?" Jiang Chongkong asked. The student from Gangshui Castle gulped. "Chu Ming." "May I know your name, brother? I don't think you're the president of Gangshui Castle Budokai." A smile appeared on Jiang Chongkong's face. "I'm Jiang Chongkong." Chu Ming's expression changed. "Jiang Chongkong." The light of the broadsword flashed, and another corpse appeared. The Chu family was really a nest. There was no need to ask. Chapter 105. You guys can go back. Jiang Chongkong looked at the 4 students and waved his hand. Jiang Chongkong didn't feel that he was in trouble after killing 4 people. Jiang Chuan and the rest of the Blue Cloud Hunters knew that the Chu family wouldn't dare to cause trouble. "Thank you, Chang Kaisheng. When we return to Gangshui Castle, we will definitely thank Chang Kaisheng for his kindness." "How can we contact each other?" the 4 students asked. "We will meet again if we are fated." Jiang Chongkong threw down a sentence and turned to leave. The reason why he came was purely to kill the 3 Blue Cloud Hunters. Saving them was just a matter of convenience. After they left, he came back and extracted the essence of the 4 bodies before burning them. Then, he continued on his way to Shuiyun Mountain. He didn't stop until evening. Shuiyun Mountain was already in sight. Beside Shuiyun Mountain was the Jiangshui River. The river was huge and flowed into the sea. There were countless star demon in it. Gangshui Castle was named after this river. Jianghai Province was also named after Jianghai because the river flowed into the sea. The 5 cities of Jianghai, Jiangshui, Jiangqing, Jiangyun, Jiangtian, and Jiangbei were all named after this river. Jiang Chongkong sat on the bank and recovered his astral power. After 2 hours, His astral power was back to its peak. He took out some jerky and ate some before continuing on his way. Shuiyun Mountain was next to the Jiangshui River. Most of the star demons that were wreaking havoc on the mountain came from the river. When he reached the foot of the mountain, he didn't stop and continued climbing. In the night, the roars of the star demon kept ringing. A strong smell of blood came. A few minutes later, Jiang Chongkong saw a few star demon corpses. It hasn't been long since they died. It's a pity that they are only rank 2. Jiang Chongkong didn't stop and continued climbing. He didn't mind that there were people here. It was impossible for him to be the only one accepting the mission. Gangshui Castle still had Budokai. With his eyes closed and ears twitching, Jiang Chongkong carefully sensed the sounds around him. The sound of the wind, the distant cry of the star demon, and the sounds of fighting all entered his ears. Jiang Chongkong leaped into the air like a nimble bird. After a few leaps, he arrived at the battlefield. 3 young men, 2 with short hair and 1 with long hair, were all in the early stages of Stargate. They were fighting among the star demon group. The starlight was dazzling, and the light shone through the darkness. The sword light swept past, and the star demon quickly died. However, there were just too many star demon. Although they killed them quickly, they were not as fast as the star demon. I really don't understand why you would accept this stupid mission, a short-haired man said. His face was full of pockmarks. That's right. These star demon almost all came from the river. It's impossible to clear them all. Another short-haired man also said gloomily. It wasn't that Gangshui Castle didn't clear this place before. It was just that after it was cleared, it was occupied by the star demon again. They couldn't understand why the Federation kept giving out this mission. The long-haired man said calmly, Gangshui Castle only has these missions. Could it be that you want to accept a small-scale mission? The 3 of them chatted as they killed the star demon. The pockmarked man glanced at Jiang Chongkong. There's someone here. He came to Mountain Water Cloud at this time. Did he also accept a mission? He's unfamiliar. He shouldn't be from Gangshui Castle Budokai, the long-haired man said. He then asked, Brother, where are you from? Rivertown, Jiang Chongkong. I'm here for a mission, Jiang Chongkong replied. So, you're from Rivertown? The pockmarked man was delighted. He said, Come here. Let's do this mission together. I'll give you 100 points. Kaiyun, you're too much. The long-haired man frowned. Gee, it's not your turn to be kind. Another short-haired man snorted and glared at the long-haired man. 100? Jiang Chongkong frowned. The mission reward was 1,000 points. Only the 3 of them, including the 4 of them, would get 100 points? Then each of them would get 300 points? Too little? That's the price in Rivertown. If you don't do it, you'll suffer when you get back. The pockmarked man sneered. Let's rely on our capabilities. Whoever kills more will complete the mission, Jiang Chongkong said indifferently. They weren't from Budokai. If he killed more, he would be the one to complete the mission. Are the people from Rivertown so arrogant? The pockmarked man's expression was gloomy. Get over here now. If not, there won't be a place for you in Gangshui Castle. Even your fellow townsmen will be hospitalized. Let me tell you, what's the price for the people from Rivertown? Jiang Chongkong's expression was indifferent. One couldn't tell if he was happy or angry. He took a step forward and entered the group of Star Demon. Roar. The Star Demon didn't care about Jiang Chongkong's intrusion. It pounced on him. Kid, you know your place. The pockmarked man sneered. He looked satisfied. The people from Rivertown have been beaten up. No, there's something wrong with this kid. The short-haired man sneered. The next moment, he looked terrified. The star demon that got close to him is committing suicide. Committing suicide. The pockmarked man was stunned. He looked over. Before a star demon could touch Jiang Chongkong, it turned its sharp claws and pierced its neck. What's going on? The long-haired man was shocked. If there was only one star demon, it would be fine. However, all the star demon that got close to Jiang Changkong committed suicide. Dying from its own sharp claws and astral power was no different from suicide. Jiang Changkong walked with his hands behind his back. He walked slowly. Astral power fluctuated. The star demon fell to the ground. In just a minute, Jiang Changkong had already reached the three of them. You, now tell me, what's the price in Rivertown? Jiang Changkong looked at the pockmarked man calmly. I. The pockmarked man opened his mouth but couldn't speak. Kid, it's Kaiyun's fault. Let's just forget about it, the short-haired man said. Forget it. I won't argue with you. The pockmarked man regained his rationality and said magnanimously. Heh. Jiang Changkong snickered. A strong wave of astral power forced the star demon back. 1/. If you don't die, forget it. You. The pockmarked man's expression darkened. Don't be too arrogant. You might be strange, but you're only at the early stage of Stargate. You're about the same as me. Brother, I think it's fine. It won't be good for the geniuses of Rivertown if this goes on, the long-haired man advised. The three of you can take it at the same time. Jiang Changkong didn't back down. Alright, Rivertown really has someone special. Let's see if your slash can kill all three of us. The pockmarked man snorted. His astral power surged and soared aura pulse. He decisively chose to take it at the same time. Jiang Changkong was too strange. He didn't dare to be careless. If he took the slash alone, he might be killed. Jiang Changkong raised his palm and gathered his astral energy. A Taiji diagram formed and expanded rapidly. The huge Taiji diagram surrounded the four of them. At the same time, it forced back all the star demons, making space. The three of them couldn't help but gasp. Was this the early stage of Stargate? Clang. A loud sound was heard. The golden handle flew out and the blade bounced out. Red light blossomed like the sunset glow. The three of them felt a pressure they had never felt before. Astral power surged out. The stars shone brightly and tore the night sky apart. 3 rays of sword aura intertwined and the Tai Chi symbol started to vibrate. 1/sunset. Jiang Changkong placed his hands behind his back and the sunset glow blade fell from the sky. Kill! The three of them roared and slashed out 3 rays of sword aura at the same time. Boom! The sunset blade was like the sun in the evening. The sunset glow was like fire and blood was like the sunset glow. A smear of blood engulfed the sword aura. No one knew if it was the sunset glow or the blood. Plop! The powerful blade chi suppressed the three of them and they knelt down at the same time. Smoke and dust billowed and their perlicues were torn. Blood flowed out. Now tell me again. What's the price for the people of Rivertown? Jiang Changkong stepped in front of the three of them and looked down at the pockmarked man. Chapter 106. The three people kneeling on the ground were silent. Their faces were flushed red. Humiliation. He was humiliating them. However, the person in front of them was too strong. He was so strong that the three of them could barely take 1 slash. Although they were resentful, they did not dare to show it on their faces. The pockmark-faced man's voice trembled. 1 slash has passed. You guys can leave. You stay. Jiang Changkong looked at the long-haired youth. Let's go. The pockmark-faced man and the other short-haired youth did not hesitate. They got up and left. The long-haired youth was furious, but there was nothing he could do. The two of them did not even look at him and left. They jumped out of the star demon group and disappeared in the blink of an eye. Jiang Changkong said calmly, Your surname is Ji? What's your name? It was this long-haired youth, who had a good attitude and wanted to stop them. Unfortunately, he was not doing well and his status was not high. His surname was also Ji. Could he be a relative or friend of Ji Xiling? Ji Xiling's home was in Gangshui Castle. The long-haired youth was silent for a moment and said, Ji Zifeng. Ji Zifeng. Who is Ji Xiling to you? Jiang Changkong asked. She's my little sister. Do you know her? Ji Zifeng frowned. Jiang Chongkong thought for a moment and took out his phone to call the female senior. She picked up immediately. Little Chongkong, do you miss me? As long as you learn the sunflower manual, I'll be your boyfriend. Jiang Chongkong, why are you thinking about this in the middle of the night? Jiang Chongkong rubbed his forehead and sighed. Do you know Ji Zifeng? Yes. My brother. Did you offend him? He even dared to touch my junior. Give him the phone. I'll scold him to death, Ji Xiling said angrily. No, I'm just asking. After hanging up, Jiang Chongkong looked at Ji Zifeng strangely. Was Ji Zifeng afraid of his sister? However, having a younger sister who held the sunflower manual all day and looked for others to cultivate with was indeed scary. Jiang Chongkong could not help but sympathize with this guy. His friend had abandoned him and ran away, but his sister was still acting strangely. But, it's sad. Ji Zifeng was at a loss. What was going on? The person in front of him was his younger sister's junior? From the looks of it, they have a good relationship. That abnormal sister of his actually had a male friend who was on good terms with her. He could not help but glance at Jiang Chongkong's lower body. It was gratifying but pitiful. Ahem, Jiang Chongkong coughed softly and said, since we are acquaintances, let's stand up and talk. When the pressure dissipated, Ji Zifeng stood up with a strange expression on his face. Jiang Chongkong continued, now that the mission here belongs to me, do me another favor. What's the favor? Ji Zifeng frowned slightly. Chairman of Gangshui Castle's Budokai, what's your name? Jiang Chongkong asked. Chu Yunhe, Stargate's Peak, Ji Zifeng said. Jiang Chongkong said, help me tell him that I want the spot for the distorted Starlight Land. Let's set up a place to have a match. The spot for the distorted Starlight Land? The chairman can distribute it directly. He won't agree. Besides, isn't it more convenient for you to look for him yourself? Ji Zifeng was puzzled. Because I am the chairman of Rivertown's Budokai. Jianghai now has 2 Budokai. The spots cannot be monopolized by Gangshui Castle. Jiang Chongkong said coldly. Ji Zifeng, Rivertown's Budokai? Although you are strong, you seem to be at the early stage of Stargate. How did you establish Budokai? Or the chairman? Just help me pass the message, Jiang Chongkong said. Fine. But even if I don't say it, Zhang Kaiyun and the others won't let you and the people of Rivertown off. Ji Zifeng sighed. Do you really think you can take my attack? Jiang Chongkong raised his right hand and a red flame flew out from Ji Zifeng's body and into his palm. Ji Zifeng's expression changed. They can't pass the message. You should go. Jiang Chongkong waved his hand. Ji Zifeng was shocked. He opened his mouth but couldn't say anything. He heaved a sigh and left. He dashed out of the Star Demon group and went straight to the foot of the mountain. Not long after, 2 blood-curdling screams were heard. Red flames danced in the night sky like blood. The 2 men on fire summoned their astral powers but couldn't suppress the flames. Ji Zifeng didn't save them. They had abandoned him and he couldn't suppress the flames either. If Jiang Chongkong hadn't retracted the flames, he wouldn't have noticed. Black and white intertwined, and a vast Taiji diagram was expanding. The Star Demon roared and started to kill each other or commit suicide within the range of the Tai Chi diagram. The long blade was fast and there was a flame hidden in it. Jiang Chongkong didn't inject the flames into the Star Demon's body to burn it. Many of the Star Demon were at the Star Wave level. After the Star Demon died, Jiang Chongkong extracted his energy and didn't rush to add points. The Tai Chi diagram expanded until it was 8 meters in diameter. That was the limit of what Jiang Chongkong could do. Any more and it would be unstable. Besides, the Yuling art hadn't caught up yet. He could deal with a dozen Star Demons at a time, but any more and there would be deviations. After using it for days, the Yuling art had become more and more important in his mind. He was looking forward to upgrading the Yuling art to the legendary sword manipulation art in the future. By then, he could ride on his blade and kill enemies from 1,000 miles away, but he should be able to do it from a few thousand miles away. Besides, the Yuling art had perfect control over the flames formed by the blazing sun art. The flames danced on his fingertips like small snakes. The star demon's corpse, which had its essence, chi, and spirit extracted, was burned. The star demon roared and charged at Chen Fan, not fearing death. Jiang Chongkong didn't move. He swung his blade and used the Tai Chi diagram and the Yuling art to shift his energy. Groups of star demons fell. On Cloud Water Mountain, Jiang Chongkong quickly killed the star demon. His energy was also increasing rapidly. A few hours later, the mountain was empty except for a few star demons running for their lives. One of them was an early-stage Stargate star demon. Jiang Chongkong naturally wouldn't let it escape. His blade sliced through the air and instantly pierced through the Stargate star demon's body. After doing this, Jiang Chongkong dealt with the rest of the star demon and dug out the Stargate star demon's star stone. Essence, spirit, and energy. 100 points, unable to be extracted. Looking at the information on the star stone, Jiang Chongkong kept it. The corpse only had 20 points of essence, spirit, and energy. He couldn't be bothered to extract it. There were many star demons on Cloud Water Mountain. They provided him with more than 2,000 points of essence, spirit, and energy. Including the previous ones, he had more than 3,000 points. Looking at the surveillance footage, Jiang Chongkong carried the Stargate star demon's corpse and went down Cloud Water Mountain. When he arrived at the river, he let the Stargate star demon bleed and stood beside the corpse. Walala! Not long after, the river water rippled. Star demons were lured by the blood and climbed out of the river. Their strength is not bad. Jiang Chongkong looked at the star demons that crawled out. There were a few from the Star Sea. Tonight, he would kill 5,000 and upgrade the Yuling chant. The star demon fell one after another. Now that there was a cosmic cloud state star demon, he couldn't even be bothered to dig for star stones. A 10 cubic meter jade pendant was almost full. He really wasn't interested in it. Now that the blood from the corpse dyed the river red, it attracted more star demon. For a moment, the river was dyed red. The area within a few hundred meters was filled with blood. The star demon grew stronger one after another. In the end, almost all of them were cosmic sea states. There were also Stargate star demon. Jiang Chongkong was excited, but he also felt serious. If a cosmic cloud state appeared, he might not be able to beat it. Chapter 107. In the morning, Ji Zifeng walked out of the hotel and rubbed his face. It still felt unreal. My sister's junior is the chairman of Budokai? And all three of them were on their knees. He's strong enough to be my senior. He went straight to the hotel to sleep when he came back last night. He was not in a hurry to report. After checking the time, he dialed Chu Yunhe's number. Mission accomplished? Chu Yunhe's voice was cold. I want to file a complaint. Zhang Kaiyun and the others abandoned me and ran away, Ji Zifeng said angrily. Huh? What's going on? Chu Yunhe sounded more serious. Ji Zifeng thought for a moment and said, Here's what happened. I met someone last night. He told him everything in detail but did not say that the two of them were dead. Chu Yunhe's voice was cold. Why did you only inform me now? Chairman of Budokai? It was Jiang Chongkong again, challenging him to a battle? Does he deserve it? I was looking for Zhang Kaiyun and the others last night. Chairman, I hope you can hand them over to me. Beep beep. Damn it. Ji Zifeng looked at the phone that had been hung up and almost exploded. I can't afford to offend you. Don't give me a chance or I'll destroy the Chu family. While cursing in his heart, Ji Zifeng sent a message to Jiang Chongkong. He had already conveyed the message. When Jiang Chongkong received the message, he was still killing the star demon. He was excited because there were more and more sea-level star demon being nurtured. 5,000 essence, energy, and spirit. Without any hesitation, he leveled up the Yuling chant. Jiang Chongkong's astral power became stronger after he maxed out the Yuling chant. Looking at the Stargate level star demon in the blood-red river, Jiang Chongkong reluctantly stopped. I can't be too greedy. There must be a hidden star demon in the river. I'll make a move first. He left the river and found a place to sit down to recover his astral power. 2 hours later, his star power was completely restored. He opened the official website of Budokai and contacted the official customer service. Budokai Official Customer Service 004, at your service, esteemed President, what can I do for you? Cloudwater Mountain Star Demon mission completed. I even killed a few more. The video is in the surveillance camera, Jiang Chongkong said. With the President's approval, the other party could directly retrieve his video or send it over himself. Jiang Chongkong just asked him to retrieve it. He was too lazy to send it. Please wait a moment. Official Customer Service 004 sent a message and went to retrieve the video. Not long after, a message came in. You have completed the mission above expectations. You have been rewarded with an additional 200 points. Total points, 1220. Release. After receiving the points, Jiang Chongkong was not in a hurry to hang up. He asked again, Jianghai Province's Starlight Twisted Land. Budokai has 5 spots. How many can I get? The spots for the Starlight Twisted Land are for Budokai, not for a certain Budokai. You can decide how to distribute them, Customer Service 004 said. Thank you. Jiang Chongkong hung up after thanking him. Although he was prepared to fight for it, he still had to clarify things. The spots were for Budokai, not for a certain person. In other words, if he had the ability, he would be able to get all 5 of the spots. After asking, Jiang Chongkong lay on the ground and began to rest. There were no powerful star demon nearby. He could sleep without worry. Even if the star demon came, it would not be able to bite him. Jiang Chongkong slept all the way until the evening. Before he could open his eyes, he heard the faint sound of a conversation. Senior, aren't the people of Jiangsu City bullying us too much? If we had known this, we would have waited until the conference started like the people of Jiangcheng. A voice full of resentment was heard. Who asked them to be so strong? Although there are laws, the strong are still respected. A sigh was heard, full of helplessness. But Senior, the one who bullied us was only at the peak of Nebula Peak. You are a Starsea overlord. Overlord? In this Gangshui castle, even Stargate can't be called an overlord. Xingzong is the real overlord. The Senior sighed. As for that peak of Nebula Peak, although he has no strength, he has a backer. The juniors fell silent. Without strength, they had to find a backer. If they couldn't find one, they could only be cowards. When they were in their hometown, the Starsea level seniors were so high-spirited, but they were bullied here by a Nebula Peak. This was just a provincial capital of a small province. If it was an ordinary province or a big province, the gap would be even greater. Okay, stop talking. We still have to prepare star stones to show our respect to them. The senior said bitterly. We really shouldn't have come. I don't know why the school agreed to come earlier, the junior said unhappily. If we don't come, we will have a harder time in the future. The people of Jiangcheng didn't agree to come earlier this time. They will suffer in the future. The senior shook his head and said, in fact, they won't let go of the students of Jiangcheng during the martial arts conference. Really? Jiang Chongkong stepped forward and looked at the 3 young men with a cold expression. We are all from a martial arts school, but the Gangshui Castle Martial Arts School bullied us like this? One of the 3 young men was at the late-stage Starsea realm, while the other 2 were at the early-stage Starsea realm. You are? The 3 young men were startled. They didn't even notice that there was someone nearby. Jiang Chongkong said faintly. You are Jiang Chongkong? The president of Jiangqing Budokai? The late-stage Starsea Realm youth said in surprise. Jiang Chongkong was slightly surprised. You know me? Was he already so famous? I heard from Budokai that because of you, Pang Yun and Yang Chengan both quit the club. The young man said with some excitement. I heard that you also defeated Wang Peng in the early stage of Stargate. You are very strong. Jiang Chongkong figured it out and asked, What were you talking about? It's not a secret. It's like this every year. The martial arts school doesn't interfere in the fights between students. In recent years, the Chu family has produced many talent. Now the number one in the martial arts school is the third son of the Chu family, Chu Tianyun. As the young man spoke, Jiang Chongkong frowned. The Chu family really had a long reach. Chu Tianyun was very strong. He was at the peak of Stargate and the strongest among the students of the martial arts school. After completing the graduation mission, he stayed in the school like Lu Wuhai. His purpose was obvious. He wanted to get the Starlight Distorted Land. Every year at this time, he would invite students from the other 4 cities to come in advance. The purpose of coming was to ask them to help hunt for star stones. Of course, this help was not personally requested by him. Naturally, others would do it. For example, some juniors or something. As for the Blue Cloud Hunters, this was completely robbery. As for those who dared not to come, the students of their cities would have a hard time when they came to Gangshui Castle in the future. For example, the young man in front of him had to stay in the hospital for half a year because he did not come once. Otherwise, he would have been at the peak of Stargate. The second son of the Chu family is also at the peak of Stargate, Budokai's president Chu Yunhe. The young man continued. The eldest son of the Chu family, Chu Yunlong, left a year ago and went to another province. At that time, he was at the peak of Stargate. The Chu family has a long reach. They have a hand in everything, Jiang Chongkong said to himself. It can't be helped. The Chu family is a behemoth in Gangshui Castle. Many people hate them. Except for 3 people, no one can beat the old man of the Chu family. The young man said helplessly. Jiang Chongkong raised his eyebrows. Oh? Is the old man of the Chu family a star spirit expert? Star spirit my ass. The peak of hidden star. I heard that he has been in seclusion for 5 years and has not broken through. I guess there is no hope for him in this life. The young man said disdainfully. Who are the 3 people you are talking about? The commander of Gangshui Castle, the principal of the martial arts school, and the branch president of the Alcade Chamber of Commerce. But they have no grudge against the Chu family, so they will not do anything. The young man explained. From what you said, you seem to have a good understanding of Riverwater City. Jiang Chongkong pondered. The young man shook his head and said, Not really. I have been around for a few years. Then let me ask you, do you know the nest of the Blue Cloud Hunters? Chapter 108. Chu Tianxing was right. The 4 brothers of the Chu family were each stronger than the other, and he was the weakest. But that was nothing. With his current leveling speed, the 4 of them combined wouldn't be enough for him to kill. He also had a good understanding of the masters in Gangshui Castle. Gangshui Castle had a junior commander. After all, it was a provincial city, and the Federation had sent someone at the peak of Hidden Star. The principal of the martial arts school was the same. As for the chairman of the Alcade Chamber of Commerce, his strength was unfathomable. It was rumored that he was an astral master. But no one knew the details, and no one dared to make a move in the Alcade Chamber of Commerce. The Alcade Chamber of Commerce's business covered half of the Federation, and its headquarters was in a major province. If such a giant opened a branch here, no one would dare to provoke it. There were still some martial artists below the peak of Hidden Star in Gangshui Castle, but none of them could beat the old master of the Chu family, who was at the peak of Hidden Star. So, it could be said that the Chu family was the most powerful one. The lair of the Blue Cloud Hunters? The young man's face changed, and he turned pale. Jiang Chongkong's eyes flickered. You look like you know? I know, but. The young man looked at his two juniors, and then at Jiang Chongkong. He gritted his teeth and said in a low voice, "To tell you the truth, the Blue Cloud Hunters belong to the Chu family." "I know." Jiang Chongkong nodded lightly. "You know?" The young man's eyes widened. "Then why did you ask?" Jiang Chongkong's expression was calm. "I hate trouble. I had some grudges, so I killed them all." The young man. The two juniors. "Didn't you hear how strong the Chu family was? You killed them all just because they had some grudges?" Although they had heard of Jiang Chongkong's name and knew that he was strong, they didn't expect him to be so bold. 10 miles north of here, there is a small mountain. The Blue Cloud Hunters are there. Seeing that Jiang Chongkong was a little impatient, the young man said, "Well, what's your name? Which city? If what you said is correct, the martial arts exchange will not harm you," Jiang Chongkong said indifferently. "Jiang Wenshan of Jiang Tianqing," the young man said with a hint of helplessness. Hopefully, Jiang Chongkong wouldn't reveal the location of the Blue Cloud Hunter's lair. If word of this got out, the Chu family would never let him off. "And goodbye." Jiang Chongkong turned and left. He had killed quite a few of the 18 Blue Cloud Hunters. How many were left? During this period of time, they should have robbed a lot of starstones, right? On the other hand, the Chu family's strategy was pretty good. They had made so many people work for them, and the amount of star stones they had accumulated must be very terrifying. "When I have the chance, I can give it a try." "Wait, Chang Kaisheng," Jiang Wenshan called out. "Anything else?" Jiang Chongkong stopped in his tracks. "Chang Kaisheng, since you want to wipe out the Blue Cloud Hunters, why don't you use your position as their leader to earn some points?" Jiang Wenshan asked. "Points? I don't think there's such a mission on the official website." Jiang Chongkong frowned. It was issued before, but no one completed it, so it was cancelled. Jiang Wenshan said in a low voice, "Chang Kaisheng, you can contact customer service and ask about the situation." "And thank you." Jiang Chongkong nodded and walked away. The reason why no one completed it was simple. The Chu family was covering for them. The leader of Budokai was Chu Yunha. Once someone accepted the mission, how could he not know? He contacted the official customer service. It was 004 again. After telling him about the annihilation of the Blue Cloud Hunters, 004 immediately gave him a mission. Private mission: annihilate the Blue Cloud Hunters. Reward: 1,000 points. This was the same price as the Shuiyun Mountain Star Demon. Jiang Chongkong was shocked. However, he didn't say anything. The more points, the better. He didn't mind it. There were too many places where he could use points in the future. He needed them to exchange potions and level up in Budokai. However, he seemed to have suffered a loss. He had killed 3 members of the Blue Cloud Hunters before. After accepting the mission, Jiang Chongkong hurried to the base of the Blue Cloud Hunters. A distance of 10 miles was less than a quarter of an hour for him. It was a small mountain with dense forests and weed. It wasn't far from the river, so it was a good place. Jiang Chongkong entered the small mountain and looked around. His ears trembled. The mountain was silent. Among the weeds, there was a hidden path leading to the top of the mountain. Jiang Chongkong walked quickly on the path. Not long after, he sensed danger. Swoosh! 2 green arrows shot out from the ground, heading straight for Jiang Chongkong's thighs. The Tai Chi diagram automatically protected him and repelled the arrows. The green arrows fell, and the weeds on the side of the road withered. Poison? Jiang Chongkong glanced at it and didn't stop. He continued to move forward. Then, there were all kinds of traps, swords, and blades, but they weren't strong. He easily blocked them. 2 minutes later, Jiang Chongkong came to a dense forest. The path ended here. Nobody's here? Jiang Chongkong frowned and looked around. There was no one around, and the ground was flat. Could it be that Jiang Wenshan lied to him? Unless Jiang Wenshan's name was fake. Otherwise, if he lied to him, he wouldn't be able to bear the consequences. He frowned and sensed his surroundings. His ears trembled and he heard a faint sound. Underground. Jiang Changkong focused his eyes and raised his palm. Powerful astral power gathered and he pressed it on the ground. Boom! With a loud bang, the ground cracked and dust flew everywhere. A bright light shone and there were angry roars. Who dares to come here and cause trouble? A furious roar rang out as two figures jumped out from the ground. Two sword lights slashed towards Jiang Changkong. Jiang Changkong raised his palm. Astral power surged and the two figures were sent flying. Blood splashed everywhere. Overlords from Stargate? The two of them vomited blood and looked at him in fear. This is the base of the Blue Cloud Hunters? Underground, come out and face your death. Jiang Changkong didn't move. He looked down at the giant pit. Starlight shone and there were sounds of breathing. How dare you come here? You're quite capable. A cold voice could be heard as 6 figures leapt out one after another. The leader was an early-stage Stargate martial artist with strong astral power. This person didn't move. Instead, he looked at Jiang Changkong and said, "Who are you? I don't think there's someone like you in Gangshui Castle." After staying in Gangshui Castle for so many years, he knew almost all the Stargate martial artists in Gangshui Castle. However, he had never seen the person in front of him. Blue Cloud Hunters? Just these few? Jiang Changkong frowned. There should be a few more who weren't here. But it didn't matter. He was the leader of the early-stage Stargate martial artists. He raised his palm, and Tai Chi manifested. Vigorous astral force surged. Jiang Changkong, the president of the Rivertown Martial Arts Club. It's you, Jiang Changkong, who ruined the military fire. Everyone's expression changed. The early-stage Stargate martial artist was filled with murderous intent and a blade aura pierced through the air. The rest of the martial artists also attacked with cold expressions, surrounding and killing him. "Kill yourself," Jiang Changkong said calmly. The Tai Chi spun and the blade aura turned to attack them. Slash. They were caught off guard. The terrifying Yuling art and Tai Chi combined the blade aura and a few of them hit their vitals. The blade aura pierced through their throats and blood gushed out. How is this possible? The early-stage Stargate martial artist retreated in fear. The blade aura pierced through his body. Fortunately, it wasn't his vitals. He was only bleeding and was severely injured. "I still have to kill you. It's so strenuous," Jiang Changkong sighed. Next time, he should put in more effort and attack his opponent's vitals directly. The blade spun and a golden light shone like the rising sun. You, the early-stage Stargate martial artist, had just opened his mouth when his head flew into the air. Blood spurted out like a fountain. After killing this person, the blade didn't stop and continued to attack the rest of the martial artists. Some martial artists wanted to escape. The blade aura shot out and killed them in one slash. In the blink of an eye, the lair of the Blue Cloud Hunters was destroyed. Jiang Changkong searched the few of them. There was only a ring on the early-stage Stargate martial artist. It was 10 cubic meters and there was a pile of star stones inside. He jumped into the pit. There were a few instruments and a pile of star stones inside. Most of them were rank 3. Together with the space ring, it was enough to upgrade one martial art. "I'm rich." Jiang Changkong's joy faded. Someone was coming. Chapter 109. You have a good eye. It can be considered a beautiful place. It's a good place to relax. She was wearing a white dress. Her skin was smooth and her hair was as black as ink. She was standing on top of the mountain and looking into the distance. "Why don't you take a look at who picked this place? I'm so stressed out in the big province, so I came to Gangshui Castle to relax." His long hair trailed over his shoulders and the fat on his face jiggled. His body was full of astral powers. He was wearing luxurious clothes and a jade pendant hung around his waist. He wasn't a handsome man, but he was a rich man. "Yeah, I'm stressed out." The woman in white sighed. The wind blew and her dress fluttered. If I could, I'd like to spend the rest of my life here and never go back. Unfortunately, it's not up to us. The chubby young master closed his eyes and enjoyed the breeze. Then, he frowned and said, "The smell of blood? The star demon is gone and there are few traces of humans here. Why would there be the smell of blood?" The woman in the white dress was slightly surprised. She looked at the mountain and tapped her feet lightly. Her body was like a swallow as she stepped on the weeds and headed straight for the mountain. "Wait for me." The fat boy hurried to catch up. Although he was fat, he was as fast as the woman. After a few seconds, they stopped in front of a huge pit. There were 8 bodies there. Jiang Chongkong had just collected the astral stones and jumped out of the pit when he saw the 2 of them. They were faster than he had expected. He had just sensed their presence, and they were already here. Blue cloud hunters? The fat boy looked at the bodies on the ground. There was a blue cloud pattern on their clothes. He recognized them right away. "You are?" Jiang Chongkong looked calm and collected. He mobilized the astral powers in his body. The Chu family controlled Gangshui Castle, and Budokai was also under the Chu family's control. The 2 of them were here and they recognized the blue cloud hunters. They were probably on the same side. Both of them were powerful. Although Jiang Chongkong looked calm, they sensed a hint of murderous intent. "You killed him?" asked the fat boy. "Yes," Jiang Chongkong said calmly. Now that the surveillance was still there, as long as the 2 of them dared to make a move, they would be killed together. Thinking of this, his eyes couldn't help but light up. These 2 had extraordinary strength, so he should be able to get more points. "You have guts. You dare to kill the blue cloud hunters in Gangshui Castle," the fat boy praised. He sensed the strong killing intent and waved his hand. "Don't worry, we're not their people. We're just here to relax." Jiang Chongkong frowned. "Can you walk all the way here to relax?" "I'm just here to relax. Believe it or not, it's up to you," the fat boy said faintly. "Retract your killing intent. With your strength, it's not even enough for us to slap you." "Jiang Chongkong, could it be that you are experts at the middle stage of the Hidden Star Realm or above?" Although he hadn't fought with the Hidden Star Realm before, if they were in the early stage, even if he couldn't beat them, he should have no problem escaping. There were few peak Hidden Star Realm experts in Gangshui Castle, but there were still some below the peak. Jiang Chongkong couldn't figure them out. He really couldn't see through the strength of these 2. "Let's go." The lady in white shook her head and left. "This time, I didn't understand the situation. Mengjie, wait for me." The fat boy hurriedly followed. Jiang Chongkong was confused. Could it be that they were really here to relax? Forget it. I'll just hand in the mission first." After obtaining 1,000 points, Jiang Chongkong started to upgrade his blazing sun art. He harvested quite a lot of star stones. His essence, qi, and spirit were extracted. After upgrading his blazing sun art, the Stargate condensed a bit more. Majestic astral power surged out, and the astral power in his body became thicker. Jiang Chongkong, early stage of Stargate mid-tier, low-grade martial arts, indestructible diamond divine art, entry level, 5,000 Taiji mysterious art, entry level, 5,000 blazing sun art, entry level, 5,000 3 strokes of grace, entry level, 1/5000 Yuling art, entry level, 5,000 essence, chi, and spirit. 193. Looking at the data of his martial arts, Jiang Chongkong started to ponder about his current situation. He didn't need the 3 strokes of grace for the time being. He could keep it and upgrade it slowly. The indestructible diamond divine art was the foundation. The Taiji fist was a great help, and the blazing sun art was a martial art that he could do it himself. The Yuling art was a must. Only when the martial arts were balanced would the Yuling art be able to unleash its greatest power. In that case, I'll just upgrade my martial arts. Thinking of this, Jiang Chongkong directly upgraded all 4 martial arts to the initial stage. Boom! Majestic astral power surged and the stargate condensed. The astral power in his dantian surged. The power in his body was also increasing rapidly. The force inscription vibrated. Golden light bloomed on the surface of his body, and the Taiji fist appeared automatically. Flames burned on the surface. Jiang Chongkong, middle stage of Stargate mid-tier, low-grade martial arts, indestructible diamond divine art, entry level, 1/25,000 Taiji mysterious art, entry level, 1/25,000 blazing sun art, entry level, 1/25,000 three strokes of grace, entry level, 1/5000 Yuling art, entry level, 1/25,000 essence, energy and spirit, 189-inch 5 times. Jiang Chongkong gritted his teeth. It had increased by 5 times. How much essence, energy and spirit would he need to upgrade in the future? Forget it. I'll go kill the star demon first. Leaving his name on the ground, Jiang Chongkong used the Mystic Yang steps and left the hill. Let's try using the Yuling art. Jiang Chongkong pondered and used the Yuling art to activate the Mystic Yang step. The two worked together and his speed suddenly increased. Like a golden light, Jiang Chongkong disappeared in an instant. Unfortunately, flying was still a bit lacking. Although the Yuling art was magical, it could only allow him to fly for a short period of time. It also consumed a lot of energy and couldn't last long. The Mystic Yang steps was the safest choice. Along the way, Jiang Chongkong didn't see the two of them, but he didn't mind. Since he was in the middle stage of Stargate, his strength had increased. Today, he had to kill more. Arriving at the riverside, Jiang Chongkong confirmed that there was no one around. His sharp eyes pierced through the river and found the star demon in the shallow waters. Saber Chi shot out. The high temperature of the blazing sun art completely ignored the river water. The principle of water restraining fire didn't work on him. Not long later, blood dyed the river red again. The star demon roared and rushed over. Jiang Chongkong killed while extracting essence, energy and spirit. Blood chi soared into the sky. The dense smell of blood spread in all directions, attracting countless star demon. Jiang Chongkong happily extracted essence, energy and spirit. In less than 2 days, he would be able to kill to 5,000 essence, energy and spirit. Even if he didn't upgrade the 3 strokes of grace, he would be able to upgrade his other martial arts. While he was happily killing, far away, the white-dressed lady and the fat boy were strolling by the river. The river is clear and beautiful. If there wasn't a star demon, it would be interesting to take a boat trip, the white-dressed lady said with longing. I can't do anything about the river, but the lake shouldn't be a problem. The fat boy smiled. There is a small lake nearby. The star demon is weaker there. I can get someone to clean it up. Forget it. What's there to swim in the lake? The white-dressed lady shook her head. The sea breeze blew and she frowned. There's the smell of blood again. How can there be so much killing in such a small place? It really spoils my mood. The fat boy frowned and was a little annoyed. Such a dense smell of blood. Who would be so daring? I'll go take a look. She went to the mountain to relax but was disturbed. She came to the river for a walk and was disturbed again. Sigh, wait. What an impatient person. The white-dressed lady wanted to stop her, but the fat boy had already rushed over. She could only follow helplessly. The fat boy was extremely fast. In a few breaths, he had already reached the place of killing. A young man was wantonly killing the star demon by the river. The river was dyed red. If it was a normal day, he would call him a fierce warrior. But now that he saw who it was, he was furious. It's him again. It's the second time. He really needs to be taught a lesson for disturbing my mood. Let's go back. We're just taking a walk. There's no need to be so calculative, the white-dressed lady said. No, Mengjia, wait for me. These people from such a small place are sitting in a pond. I have to teach them a lesson today. The fat boy snorted. His powerful astral power vibrated and his round body appeared behind Jiang Chongkong like a phantom. Huh! Jiang Chongkong stopped and looked at him strangely. We meet again. What do you mean? Disturbing my mood. I'll teach you a lesson. The fat boy snorted and the starlight in his palm shone brightly. Looks like you're related to the blue cloud hunters. Jiang Chongkong's expression turned serious. Is he going to make a move? I can kill many people like you easily. I'll give you some time to prepare. The fat boy snorted. The starlight in his palm shone brightly and a strong surge of astral power fluctuated violently. One move. Jiang Chongkong's face darkened and his blade vibrated. But this guy looks like he's at the top of Stargate. Should I capture him alive and force him to hand over the star stones? Chapter 110. Boom. The Stargate was forced back by the dazzling starlight and the powerful astral power. The chubby young master pushed out his palm, and a powerful aura followed. Pure astral power, no killing intent at all. Jiang Chongkong felt suspicious in his heart. Was this person really from the Clear Sky Demon Hunter team? Why was there no killing intent? Jiang Chongkong didn't understand. He put the blade on the ground and raised his right hand. You don't have to use the blade. Very good. I won't hurt you too much. A strange look flashed in the plump young master's eyes, but his palm force was not weak at all. Jiang Chongkong didn't say a word and collided with his palm. Buzz. The Tai Chi painting appeared automatically. The Tai Chi painting spun rapidly and 40% of the power was transferred to the fat boy. What? The fat boy was startled. He quickly gathered his astral power and saw a surge of astral power coming from Jiang Chongkong's palm. Boom! The explosion was heard and the sand was flying everywhere. The fat boy quickly moved back and waved his left hand to offset 40% of the astral power. After pushing the fat boy back, Jiang Chongkong's expression was cold. Tell me where the star stones are and I'll let you die in one piece. You said I'm a blue cloud hunter? And you want to let me die in one piece? The fat boy's face turned red and a sword appeared in his hand. Kid, you've really pissed me off. Do you really think you're invincible just because you blocked my attack? A resplendent golden light soared into the sky. Under the rage of the plump young master, he no longer concealed the peak of the starry door. The golden blade was filled with heat waves and the golden flames were dancing. True sun sword. The golden light released a terrifying heat wave and countless astral power poured into the blade, forming a small golden sun. The temperature was so high that the sand under his feet was instantly dried up and the river was evaporating. It's the same as my astral power. Jiang Chongkong was slightly surprised and excited. Just nice. The Ardent Sun Association's Ardent Sun, one saber, blazing sun. The blazing sun blade was like the rising sun, warm and genial. They were both scorching sun moves, one a sword, the other a saber. The fat boy was also a bit flabbergasted. He sensed that Jiang Chongkong's blazing sun saber wasn't the slightest bit weaker than his. But now was not the time to think about this. He had to teach this guy a big lesson. Kill. The fat boy snorted coldly. With a true yang sword, the miniature sun pressed down. The rising sun was warm and genial, but it hid a terrifying power. Jiang Chongkong used 70% of his astral power. Rumble. They collided and Tai Chi rose again. 40% of the astral power was transferred to the fat boy's chest. 70% of the astral power, the blazing sun blade, pressed down. The fat boy's expression changed. He hurriedly stepped back, but he didn't have time to defend against the blazing sun blade and was immediately injured. Spurting out blood, the plump young master's face turned pale as he looked at Jiang Chongkong in anger. If he hadn't stepped back in time, he wouldn't have just spat out a mouthful of blood. Where did this guy come from? Since when did Gangshui Castle have such a powerful fighter? Also, why does my move attack me? The chubby young master was dumbfounded. That move was really shameless. Looks like you won't be able to kill me with one move. Jiang Chongkong had an indifferent expression. With his hands behind his back, he said coldly, "The warm-up is over. It's your turn now." The fat boy's face darkened and he said coldly, "You're crazy. I'd like to see what's so special about your attack." "Young man, why don't we just let it go? We don't want to be your enemy," the woman in the white dress said. "Just let it go if you can't defeat me? There's no such logic in this world." Jiang Chongkong looked at the fat boy and said, "I'll give you time to prepare. Mengjie, don't worry about me. I'm going to teach this guy a lesson today." The fat boy snorted and looked at Jiang Chongkong. "No need to prepare. Combine the three suns." The long sword vibrated and a large amount of astral power flew out, forming three small suns. The power of the three suns instantly multiplied. Clang! The sound of the blade was deafening and the sky was suddenly dyed red. It was like the sun, like fire, and like blood, emitting a bleak aura. One blade, sunset. Jiang Chongkong didn't move and converted 80% of the astral power in his body into the blazing sun astral power. The power of the sword of sunset suddenly increased, and an invisible pressure made the fat boy's face darken. Slash! Jiang Chongkong let out a soft shout, and the saber of the setting sun suddenly descended. Kill! The swords of the three suns were unleashed. Watch out! The lady in the white dress's expression changed, and she quickly moved. Boom! The sword of sunset fell and a terrifying blade chi spread in all directions, turning the star demon into a mist of blood. Sand covered the sky and blocked the view. The river water splashed like rain. The long sword circled around and landed next to Jiang Kong, floating quietly in the air. After a long while, the sand and dust settled and two figures appeared in front of them. The fat boy's hair was disheveled and he vomited blood. His face was pale. "I've met a tough guy this time. Who can tell me why there's such a fierce guy in this small place?" The lady in the white dress looked serious. Her right hand that was holding the sword was torn and blood was dripping down. "Next attack, you'll die." Jiang Chongkong held the handle of the sword with his right hand and the sunset appeared again. "Wait." The lady in the white dress quickly said, "We're not the remnants of the Green Cloud sect, and we have no intention to be your enemy. The reason why we attacked was because you interrupted our stroll twice." "Taking a stroll outside the city? How elegant." Jiang Chongkong's expression was cold, but he didn't believe it. Did they have nothing better to do than to take a stroll so far away? "We're all at the peak of Stargate. The Blue Cloud Hunters can't afford to hire us." The lady in the white dress frowned. "Believe it or not, we're just taking a stroll." Jiang Chongkong frowned. The Blue Cloud Hunters indeed couldn't order the peak of Stargate around, but the Chu family was different. "The Chu clan?" Jiang Chongkong's eyes flickered with an ominous glint. "Do you think the Chu family can afford to hire us?" The fat boy said in disdain. "The clothes I'm wearing can make the eldest of the Chu family work for a month." Jiang Chongkong. This guy was bragging as if he was very rich. "Little brother, no discord, no concord. I apologize for my previous recklessness." The fat boy wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and said sincerely, since he couldn't beat them, apologizing was the best choice. If he was killed, it wouldn't be worth it. The lady in the white dress raised her palm, and a golden barrier shone, enveloping her and the fat boy. "You can't even break a 5th-grade protective shield. Let's forget about it." Jiang Chongkong narrowed his eyes. "Who are you?" 5th-grade protective shields were at the hidden stargrade. In Gangshui Castle, there weren't many that could be used. "My name is Nan Tianwang. This is my sister, Yao Meng. She's not from Jianghai." "She's here to play," the fat boy said. "Not from Jianghai? Big province? Normal province?" Jiang Chongkong raised his eyebrows. Normal province," the fat boy said. "How should I address you?" Jiang Chongkong was silent for a moment. "Do you still hold a grudge?" The two of them. "No. I don't hold a grudge. The fat boy's mouth twitched. If you held a grudge, would you kill us? Jiang Chongkong said calmly, I won't tell you my name. I'm very vengeful. We're not enemies. The two of them were speechless. You attacked me for no reason and delayed me from killing the star demon. We have a grudge against each other. Compensate me with 20 low-grade, third-grade star stones, Jiang Chongkong said indifferently. The time he wasted was enough to kill 20 early-stage StarCraft star demon. He didn't ask for much. He just wanted to compensate for his losses. Chapter 111. Jiang Chongkong was dumbfounded. He watched as Nan Tianwang took out one star stone after another. In the blink of an eye, he had taken out 100. All of them were at the peak of the third rank. This was enough for him to upgrade the 3 strikes of grace to the initial level. I'll compensate you. Nan Tianwang handed the star stones to him with a calm expression. He didn't feel any heartache at all. I don't need so many. These 20 low-grade third-rank star stones are equivalent to 5 top-grade ones. Jiang Chongkong took out 5 top-grade ones. Now I don't have a grudge against you. The two of them were stunned. Are you out of your mind? You guys continue walking. I'll find another place to kill. Don't come here again. Jiang Chongkong picked up his saber and prepared to leave. Wait. You can kill as you like here. We have nothing to do. Let's watch, Yao Ming suddenly said. Huh. Jiang Chongkong frowned. We won't disturb you, Yao Ming said. Jiang Chongkong pondered for a while and said, Okay. Could it be that these two wanted to keep an eye on him and then call someone else to take revenge? Jiang Chongkong paid attention to the two of them and continued to kill the star demon with his saber. The two of them stood at the side and watched Jiang Chongkong. Because of the two of them, Jiang Chongkong couldn't directly extract the essence, qi, and spirit, so he dug out the star stones. He wasn't in a hurry. The essence, qi, and spirit dissipated and were extracted automatically. Brother, your saber riding technique is not bad. Are you selling it? Nan Tianwang looked at the saber riding technique with envy. No, Jiang Chongkong said coldly. He dug out a star stone and put it into the hidden star ring. Jiang Chongkong continued. What was that technique just now? Yao Ming asked curiously. It's not good to pry into other people's secrets. Jiang Chongkong's saber flashed, and another star demon fell. If you have nothing to do, go somewhere else. The two of them did not take out their phones, nor did they do anything else. They just watched curiously. He had almost figured it out. These two people really had nothing to do with the Chu family. If they had, they would have made their move long ago instead of waiting until now. After all, the two of them were at the peak of Stargate. Before they started fighting, they were still full of confidence. After the fight, yes, now he is obedient. You held back just now. If you had used the teleportation technique, both Tianwang and I would have been severely injured by that attack, Yao Ming continued. Previously, I was thinking of capturing you and asking for the whereabouts of the star stone, Jiang Chongkong said calmly. Then why don't you take the star stones now? Nan Tianwang couldn't understand him. Jiang Chongkong said patiently, The grudge between us is that you delayed me from killing the star demon. If you compensate me for the loss, then we're even. Both of them were dumbfounded. Nan Tianwang asked in astonishment, You did it for the star stones? You also killed the star demon for the star stones? Jiang Chongkong turned around and looked at him seriously. Yes. For me, except for the great hatred, the great evil, or the people I want to kill, or the things I want to do, everything can be measured by the star stones. If there was no hatred between them, he would not kill them, nor would he rob them of their star stones. But if it was an enemy, then it was different. He could take the star stones after chopping them up. Nan Tianwang smiled and said, Since you like the star stones so much, why don't we discuss it? You tell me the teleportation technique and the blade manipulation technique, and I will give you the star stones. What do you think? I'm not selling it. I've already said it, Jiang Chongkong refused. It was impossible for him to sell these martial arts. It's just the name. I don't want to buy your martial arts, Nan Tianwang said. Jiang Chongkong raised his eyebrows. So rich and overbearing. But it makes sense. He casually took out 100 top-notch third-grade martial arts. This fatty was very rich. That woman was probably a fair, rich, and beautiful woman. The blade manipulation technique is a special technique. It can manipulate objects and teleport things. I call it the heaven and earth great shift. Jiang Chongkong said calmly. Does it need the help of your Taiji diagram? Nan Tianwang asked. The Taiji diagram has the ability to reduce force. It can be used together, Jiang Chongkong said. Okay, these star stones are all yours. Nan Tianwang directly threw the remaining 95 star stones to him. Jiang Chongkong frowned and didn't refuse anymore. He was a fool with too much money. There was nothing he could say. Yao Ming said, What's your name? You don't have to deliberately hide it. Your martial arts should be very easy to identify. Moreover, with your strength, you are not a nobody in Jianghai. It should be very easy to find out. Jiang Chongkong said coldly, Jiang Chongkong. If you want to get back at me, I'll accompany you at any time. Brother, you are still very cautious. Isn't it good to be friends? You won't lose out by being friends with me. Nan Tianwang patted his chest and said, This Gangshui castle is very big. I can still say a few words. I'm afraid you will lose out. Jiang Chongkong said calmly. This fatty was simply a moving star-stone warehouse. He was really worried that one day, he would not be able to control himself and snatch this fatty away. Nan Tianwang and Yao Meng walked to the side and looked at the Red River and the star demon that kept charging over. They didn't speak, and Jiang Chongkong didn't take the initiative to speak either. He continued to kill his own star demon. One after another, star demon charged over. Occasionally, 1 or 2 Stargate-level demons appeared, but they were all at the early and middle stages. No matter what kind of star demon it was, Jiang Chongkong killed them all with 1 slash. He would not use a second slash. Ding dong! His phone rang. Jiang Chongkong took out his phone and saw that it was Ji Zifeng. What's the matter? You wiped out the Blue Cloud Hunters? Ji Zifeng said with a serious expression. Yes. Jiang Chongkong replied. The news spread fast. Even Ji Zifeng knew about it. Budokai knows about it. Chu Yunhe asked Vice President Qin Wen to look for you. Be careful in the later stages of Stargate. Ji Zifeng reminded him and hung up. Although he knew that Jiang City was strong, they were not at the later stages of Stargate. Hence, he still called to inform them. Later stages of Stargate? Jiang Chongkong kept his phone. A trace of disdain flashed in his eyes. Gangshui Castle Budokai was a small Budokai with 2 vice presidents. Did you offend Budokai? Oh right, I almost forgot. The Blue Cloud Hunters belong to the Chu family. Nan Tianwang said, Why don't I help you mediate and push this matter aside? None of them were weak, so they had heard everything that had just been said. I need it? Jiang Chongkong glanced at him coldly. Nan Tianwang was stunned. It seemed like he really did not need it. He was at the peak of Stargate and he was almost killed. A vice president in the later stages of Nebula was not enough for this guy to kill. Nan Tianwang changed the topic and said with slight disdain, If you kill like this, how many third-grade star stones can you get in a day? How many fourth-grade star stones can you get? Jiang Chongkong's mouth twitched. I know you are rich, but you better not provoke me. Otherwise, I will not be able to control myself. After thinking for a while, he replied, Less than 200 third-grade star stones, 3 or 4 fourth-grade star stones, and 10 if I am lucky. If you help me do something in a day, I will give you 500 top-tier third-grade star stones. How about that? Nan Tianwang said. 500 top-tier third-grade star stones would be 20,000. This Nan Tianpang was really rich. Jiang Chongkong was tempted, but he did not lose his mind. What is it? It's not a crime. I can do it. It's not a crime. Before that, I want to know how weak you will be in the water. What about your saber techniques? Jiang Chongkong thought for a moment and said, as long as it is not 100 meters deep, 1 or 2 centimeters should be enough. My fists are not weaker than sabers. The Yuling art could control nature elements and could also split water. As long as it was not 100 meters deep, it would not take much effort. However, these two obviously had extraordinary identities. Would they trick him? Jiang Chongkong still had a trace of vigilance in his heart. Nan Tianwang said, a medicinal herb and a strange thing may go up against a star demon group. The lowest is the Galaxy Star Demon. Stargate Star Demon is currently known to have 10. With your strength and equipment you can't solve it. Jiang Chongkong was puzzled. The environment in the water is complicated. My sword technique will be suppressed. Moreover, it is not just us. There may be competitors. That medicinal herb is not bad, but it is only 4th grade. It is not worth it to ask for help from a hidden star demon. Nan Tianwang said. Chapter 112. Under the night sky, Jiang Chongkong stopped killing the star demon. He was a little tired today, but Nan Tianwang and Jiang Chongkong still hadn't left. Why aren't you guys leaving? Jiang Chongkong asked. If we leave, you'll be in danger. Nan Tianwang found a place to sit down. You're completely drained. How can you be a match for the vice president? I don't need you guys to do anything. Jiang Chongkong said indifferently. Completely drained? With the two of you here, would I dare to exhaust my last bit of strength? He had always been wary of the two of them, lest he got betrayed without knowing it. If you don't appreciate it, then forget it. When you're done dealing with the vice president, contact us. Yao Meng flicked her finger, and a golden card flew to Jiang Chongkong. This is my phone number. Tianwang, let's go. All right then. Nan Tianwang shrugged and left as well. Jiang Chongkong closed his eyes and sat cross-legged to cultivate, but he wasn't too focused and was slowly recovering. The two of them didn't go far. About a kilometer away they stopped. Then, they started talking. Nan Tianwang said with lingering fear, I didn't expect Jiangqing to have such a pervert. Even with the two of us working together, we almost couldn't block a single blade. I came here to relax, but you insisted on teaching him a lesson, provoking such a guy. Yao Ming sighed. I came here to relax, but now I feel a lot of pressure. I feel a lot of pressure too. It's fine that there are so many geniuses in the big provinces, but there's even someone from a small province who can bully me. Nan Tianwang said gloomily, I'll definitely choose a good place next time, a place without perverts to relax. But, Mengjie, why don't you show your strength? If the two of us work together, we should be able to take him down. Nan Tianwang felt very sad. Today was his biggest failure in acting cool. In the past, in the small provinces or even the normal provinces, he was successful. There were very few Stargate realm cultivators who could take one move from him. Not to mention, Jiang Chongkong was only in the middle of Stargate. However, it was precisely this mid-stage Stargate that taught him a lesson today. His face was swollen. Although Yao Meng had made a move, she had only blocked the knife for him. If she had gone all out, he believed that Yao Meng was not weaker than Jiang Chongkong. To be able to meet such a genius in a small place like this, it should be easier to rope him in than in a large province. Gangxiang Budo School has prospered and cultivated such a talent. The teachers and students have done a great job. Yao Meng continued, It's a pity that he's very wary of us. I don't know if we can rope him in or if he's worth befriending. Aren't I just testing you? With the strength of the three of us, obtaining that thing shouldn't be too difficult. Nan Tianwang said in a low voice, I wanted to wait for Uncle Lu to come. Now that someone has discovered it, let's get the thing first and test him. Budokai's Vice President Qinwen is coming soon. If he can't beat him, help him out, Yao Meng said calmly. Hearing this, Jiang Chongkong stopped listening. These two did not know how powerful his five senses were. Even if they were 100 meters away, he could still hear them clearly. Although the conversation was very soft, when he listened carefully, it was no different from speaking next to his ear. After cultivating for half an hour, Jiang Changkong opened his eyes. It's here. A figure was quickly approaching. In a few breaths, it was already in front of him. A long-haired young man with a cold gaze and wearing a black samurai suit said, Jiang Changkong? Jiang Shui Budokai's Vice President Qin Wen? Jiang Changkong said calmly. Qin Wen's expression was cold. You want the spot for the distorted starlight? Yes, Jiang Changkong admitted directly. Very well, Qin Wen sneered, and a sword light cut through the night. Then, go to hell. Assassinating the Budokai's president is not a small crime, Jiang Changkong said softly. Die fighting for the spot because your skills are not as good as others. Qin Wen snorted coldly, and the sword light did not stop at all. Jiang Changkong's expression was calm. Seeing the sword approaching, the long blade cut through the air, and a high temperature appeared like a rising sun. The night turned into day, and the golden sun was dazzling. One blade, burning Sunday, plop. The dazzling blade light flashed, and with a plop, a corpse fell. The light dissipated, and the world returned to darkness. Jiang Changkong came to Qin Wen's side and looked for a jade pendant, which was also 10 cubic meters. There were not many star stones in it, only 13, but they were all Stargate level, and they had been handled well. 8 lower-grade rank 4 stones, 4 medium-grade stones, and 1 high-grade stone. Total essence, energy, and spirit. 1900. Apart from this, there was also a contract, which stated that he failed to fight for the spot, and his skills were not as good as others. A flame appeared in Jiang Changkong's hand, and he burned Qin Wen. Assassinating the president was enough to sentence this guy to death. After that, Jiang Changkong continued to recover, and Nan Tianwang and Yao Meng started chatting again. Yao Meng was a little surprised. One blade, with such strength, he killed the star demon for a day, and he didn't use up any energy? He even fought with us. That's insane. Nan Tianwang covered his forehead. Is Jiangqing a place with good feng shui? After confirming that they would not come, Jiang Changkong continued to recover his star power. Until the next morning, neither of them came, nor did they leave. Jiang Changkong thought for a while and called Yao Meng. Yao Meng picked up almost immediately. She pretended not to know and asked, Who is it? Jiang Changkong, it's done. Jiang Changkong hung up. The two of them looked at each other and did not rush over. Jiang Changkong just sat there, keeping an eye on them. After waiting for about half an hour, Yao Meng left alone. She changed her clothes and the two of them set off. They were panting, as if they had come from afar. The two of you can move out now, Jiang Changkong said indifferently. Follow me. Nan Tianwang nodded. Then, he asked doubtfully, Can you keep up? I'll try, Jiang Changkong said. The two of them did not say anything else. They stepped on the grass and left quickly. Jiang Changkong first used the mystic yang step, only to find that he could not keep up with them. Using the Yuling chant, he could overtake them. Only then did he heave a sigh of relief. He followed unhurriedly. The two of them were even more surprised. His combat strength was strong, and his qigong was not any weaker than theirs. If they were not sure that he was from Rivertown, they would have suspected that Jiang Changkong came from a big province like them. The three of them ran at full speed for more than half an hour and came to the depths of a dense forest. At the end of the forest was a branch of the river. There was a huge circular hole with a diameter of 6 meters. It was dark inside, and they did not know how deep it was. Jiang Changkong's ears twitched. He heard the sound of running water. There were a few ropes tied to a nearby tree at the edge of the hole. Yao Meng frowned. Someone went down before us. Nan Tianwang frowned. It's convenient for us. This hole is about 20 meters deep, and there is water underground. There is a star demon inside. Be careful when you go down. Don't fall into the star demon's mouth. After saying that, he took the lead to grab a rope and went down the pit. Yao Meng followed him. Jiang Chongkong grabbed the rope and slid down without hesitation. The underground water was surging. The three of them were not ordinary people. The darkness could not block their sight. The rope extended to the surface of the water. There was no place for them to stand in the hole, so the three of them went into the water. Nan Tianwang was a good swimmer. He was very agile in the water. Yao Meng was a better swimmer, so she swam forward first. Jiang Chongkong was not a good swimmer. He could barely keep up with them. The three of them swam forward quickly. Not long after, a star demon flew over and was killed by Yao Meng's sword aura. The astral power forced the water back and Nan Tianwang urged, "Let's go. The smell of blood will attract more star demon." Jiang Chongkong nodded and lagged behind. That was a star demon in the early stage of the star ocean realm. They did not care, but he did. Extract its energy. They saw a lot of star demon along the way. However, most of them were minced meat. The people who came earlier killed them and the star demon ate them. Jiang Chongkong followed the principle of picking up every last bit and extracted the essence, energy, and spirit of the minced meat. The three of them swam quickly with astral power. As they moved forward, there was a trace of blood in the water. Dozens of star demon were swimming. They looked like crocodiles, but they were extremely ugly. Their mouths were full of sharp teeth. Chapter 113. The water in the underground river was bone-chilling. The river was about 10 meters deep and the current wasn't rapid. The thick blood energy dyed the river red. It was almost comparable to the scene when Jiang Chongkong killed the star demon. The star demon was fighting for the corpses. Some were humans and some were star demon. The star demon blocked the way. The weakest was at the early stage of the star sea realm, while the strongest was at the early stage of Stargate. The star demon all looked the same, so they should be from the same race. Nan Tianwang's sword aura boiled the river and enveloped several star demon. Yao Meng slashed and the river split, also enveloping several star demon. Jiang Chongkong didn't swim anymore. The Tai Chi painting forced the water away and walked on it. Astral power is wasted. Nan Tianwang took the opportunity to come to him and said seriously. Yao Meng also said, "It's not worth it. We might face a few top Stargate cultivators next." "It's okay." Jiang Chongkong waved his hand and walked forward quickly. It was just the Tai Chi painting. It wouldn't waste much astral power. Furthermore, after extracting the essence, qi, and spirit, the increase was far greater than the consumption. Nan Tianwang gave him 500 top star sea beasts. Together with the star demon, he could almost max out a lesser mastery martial art. Even if it didn't work, he could reach lesser mastery in the 3 strikes of grace. Jiang Chongkong walked on the water. The star demon roared and pounced at them, trying to swallow the 3 of them. "Don't do anything." Jiang Chongkong waved his hand. The Tai Chi art was activated, and universal shift was performed. Plop, plop, the star demon turned their mouths and bit their companions. Their sharp teeth penetrated the skin and astral power poured into them. The body began to sink to the bottom of the river. Jiang Chongkong raised his hand and used his astral powers to stop the body from falling. One by one, the star demon killed each other. The star demon in the early stages of Stargate could not escape the fate of self-mutilation. The 2 of them watched the star demon commit suicide with complicated expressions. Even though he had seen this move before, it was even more shocking to see it being used on such a large scale. In addition, Jiang Chongkong had killed the star demon for a whole day, so his astral power was abundant. He was strong and could still fight for a day. What a little freak. "Can I take half of these star stones?" Jiang Chongkong asked. "Just dig up a few Stargate and throw the rest away," Nan Tianwang said with a look of disdain. Although he also had a top-notch level 3-star stone with him, he only brought it along casually and used it to squander. Normally, he wouldn't care about it at all. There weren't many star demon at the peak of Star Ocean. He felt that it was embarrassing for him to dig one up. Yao Ming didn't say anything, but she also had a look of disdain on her face. Jiang Chongkong couldn't help but sigh again. Stupid people have too much money. After digging up the Stargate star stones, Jiang Chongkong said, "You guys go first. I'll burn these star demon corpses and catch up in a moment." "It's a waste of time." Nan Tianwang frowned slightly. "It won't take long. There won't be any delays," Jiang Chongkong promised. The two of them left first. Jiang Chongkong didn't separate the water flow. In order to save astral power, they swam away. Jiang Chongkong confirmed that they had gone far away. He extracted his essence, spirit, and burned the corpses with flames. The water flow couldn't put out his flames. After burning the corpses, Jiang Chongkong looked at his essence, spirit, including yesterday's. He had more than 5,000. Jiang Chongkong didn't rush to increase it. He caught up with the two of them. The three of them continued to swim. Not long after, they encountered dozens of star demon again. This time, there were more at the peak of the Star Ocean. The two of them still looked down on them. Jiang Chongkong killed them and his essence, spirit, soared. How much farther? After swimming for another half an hour, Jiang Chongkong asked. "Soon. With our speed, we'll be there in 15 minutes. Nan Tianwang thought for a while and replied. The three of them moved forward again and encountered another group of star demon. It was still Jiang Chongkong who attacked. Just like what Nan Tianwang said, 15 minutes later, a huge hole appeared on the stone wall on the left of the underground river. The hole was 6 meters in diameter and it was pitch black inside. The three of them entered the hole. The water inside was not deep, only up to their knees. However, inside the hole, a bone-chilling aura enveloped them. Even Jiang Chongkong felt uncomfortable. Occasionally, an arm would float over in the dark hole. "Let's go." Nan Tianwang led them into the hole. Jiang Chongkong's expression was calm as he followed behind. After walking for a few minutes, the hole became darker and darker, and the bone-chilling aura became colder and colder. "Young Master Tianyun, we'll block this star demon. You quickly pick the herbs. Be careful." Then, there was a rumbling sound and the roar of the star demon. Nan Tianwang and Yao Meng's expressions changed. They quickly rushed over. Jiang Chongkong followed them unhurriedly. At the bottom of the dark hole was a wide space with a stone platform. A blue flower that emitted cold air was blooming. The bone-chilling coldness was released by that flower. Among the 6 youths, 5 of them were besieging an ugly star demon with a crocodile-like body. This star demon was huge. Just the width of its body alone was 2 meters. Its star power was very strong. Stargate's peak. The other young man also had a very strong aura. Stargate's peak. He was looking for an opportunity to avoid the star demon and pick the cold flower. The 5 people attacking the star demon were also very strong. One of them was also Stargate's peak. 2 were Stargate's peak and 2 were Stargate's peak. "Chu Tianyun, you shameless bastard! How dare you snatch my stuff?" Nan Tianwang glared at the young man. His face was full of anger. "I was wondering who it was. So, it's Fatty Nantian. I, Chu Tianyun, have taken a fancy to this flower. If you know what's good for you, scram far away," said Chu Tianyun coldly. Nan Tianpeng. Jiang Chongkong's mouth twitched. This title was very good. Even your big brother doesn't dare to speak to me like this. Nan Tianwang was extremely angry. A long sword appeared in his hand. It was scorching hot and swept away the cold air. The river under his feet was boiling. "Do it." The 5 young men looked at each other. They actually gave up on the star demon and rushed towards the 3 of them. Roar. The star demon roared. It didn't care who they were. As long as they entered this place, they would be its enemy. "Do it." Yao Meng snorted. Starlight turned into a sword. A scarlet sword aura enveloped the 5 of them. Jiang Chongkong held his long sword and faced the Star Demon. "Leave these people and the Star Demon to me and Yao Meng. You go and take down Chu Tianyun." With a boom, the river surged. The Star Demon's charging speed stopped. Terrifying star power surged in the cave. The tunnel was shaking. Pieces of rocks fell down. "Okay." Nan Tianwang took a step forward. He went around the Star Demon and went straight for Chu Tianyun. "Don't go." The two late-stage Stargate young men blocked his way. Their swords stopped Nan Tianwang. "Huh!" Jiang Chongkong frowned. This cold air was also suppressing his blazing sun art. But it didn't matter. The suppression wasn't too great. While Nan Tianwang was blocked, Chu Tianyun had already jumped onto the stone platform and was ready to pick the herbs. "Get lost!" Nan Tianwang roared. His star power surged. The scorching sword aura forced the two back. He quickly rushed towards Chu Tianyun. "You want to leave, stay." The two were about to chase after him when a Tai Chi diagram blocked their way. Jiang Chongkong held the blade in his right hand and used it to block the Stargate Star Demon. At the same time, he controlled the Tai Chi diagram to stop the two. At this moment, Chu Tianyun had already picked the flowers. He smiled and said, "Nan Tianpeng, you're too late. I'll give you a choice. Stop, or both of you will die here." "There's another choice. Take it back." Nan Tianwang roared. The scorching sword aura turned into the sun. "Mengjie Chongkong, hang in there. True Yang sword. They can't hang in there. Do you really think you're invincible?" Chu Tianyun sneered. "This place is special. It suppresses your strength. With the addition of the Stargate Star Demon, your two friends are in danger." Yao Meng frowned. "Chongkong, leave if you can't defeat them." The cold energy here was special. Even Nan Tianwang was suppressed, so there was no way Jiang Chongkong wouldn't be able to. Under such circumstances, it would be difficult to deal with the Stargate alone, not to mention that there were two late-stage Stargate cultivators. Yao Meng didn't have it easy either. She was facing a Stargate Peak cultivator and two mid-stage Stargate cultivators. The most important thing was that these three people were shameless, their bodies actually emitting energy barriers, peak 4th level energy barriers. Although Yao Meng was powerful, she couldn't break the three shields in a short time. "I can hold them off. Worry about yourself." Jiang Chongkong took 2 steps back and held his saber horizontally. On the other side, Nan Tianwang couldn't take down Chu Tianyun. He was furious. "Chongkong, I know you're powerful. Mengjie, hold them off and give Chongkong time to kill them. Pay me more." He had fought with Jiang Chongkong before and knew how powerful he was. He and Yao Meng could only block one attack, and that was when he held back. Jiang Chongkong was slightly taken aback. "Your temper is quite explosive." Before he could speak, Nan Tianwang shouted, 1,000 early stage level 4. "Alright, you win. But Yao Meng doesn't need to hold them off." Jiang Chongkong replied. The sword flew out of his hand. It was like a bloody sunset. In an instant it filled the entire cave. He had more than 9,000 essence, spirit, and spirit. He wanted to save it for a small success martial art. But now, he used it. Leveling up 3 strokes. Today, he could kill Chu Tianyun and get star stones. It was great. Chapter 114. Upgrading other martial arts might break the balance and affect their coordination. Now that he had Nan Tianwang's promise, upgrading the 3 strikes of grace was the most cost-effective. The astral power in his body surged once again. Jiang Chongkong's attack was a success. The sunset glow was like fire and the blade was like blood. Roar. The Star Demon roared. He felt extreme danger. The 2 late-stage Stargate youths' expressions changed at the same time. 4th stage protective shields appeared around them. However, they didn't feel safe at all. Yao Meng's eyes widened in shock. This attack had exceeded the limit of Stargate. Hidden star level. Moreover, even martial artists who had just broken through to the hidden star level would be severely injured if they weren't careful. And this was under the situation where the astral power was suppressed. Without the suppression, this attack would be comparable to a stabilized early-stage hidden star level. One strike, sunset. The setting sun was late and the blade was desolate. The sunset glow was like fire and the blood was like a pillar. The star demon roared in pain, and its huge body was thrown away. A saber mark split open its defense and left a terrifying wound on its back. Crack! A crisp sound was heard. The fourth stage protective shield was shattered in an instant. The two figures were sent flying, blood flowing everywhere. Bang! They crashed into the cave wall and bounced back into the river. Their clothes were tattered, and there were many wounds all over their bodies. They were covered in blood. I can't believe it didn't kill them. Jiang Chongkong sheathed his blade. He was a little dissatisfied. Previously, he could suppress Nan Tianwang and Yao Meng with 80% of his astral power. Now that he had upgraded the 3 strikes of grace, although he had never fought against a hidden star-level cultivator before, he thought that he should be able to fight against an early-stage hidden star-level cultivator. Now that he was suppressed by the cold air and had 100% of his astral power, it shouldn't be a problem to kill them instantly. However, the attack just now only broke the protective shield and severely injured them. Has he reached the hidden star level? He wasn't sure. Yao Meng, you're such a little freak. Nan Tianwang was also dumbstruck. This was even more ferocious than he had imagined. It was unfathomable. Chu Tianyun's expression changed. With a single slash, he had broken through 2 peak tier, 4 shields and a peak Stargate star demon. The 3 of them were heavily injured. Their battle prowess was definitely at the hidden star level. Yao Meng was unable to break through the protective barrier of the 3 of them for a while, but it was not a problem to stall for time. Once Jiang Chongkong killed the star demon and the 2 of them, wouldn't he be next? Leaving aside what Chu Tianyun was thinking, Jiang Chongkong raised his sunset blade again, and the sunset appeared again. Kill! The 2 late-stage Stargate youths got up, roared angrily, and charged at Jiang Chongkong. The long blade slashed at the star demon, and the 2 of them took the opportunity to switch to close combat. Since their weapons were no longer in their hands, the threat of close combat would be small. Sensing their thoughts, Jiang Chongkong sneered in his heart. He allowed the 2 of them to stab at him. He would kill the star demon with this slash. Boom! The sunset blade slashed down, directly slashing into the star demon's body. Raging flames rushed into the star demon's body, burning it. 2 sword rays pierced over at the same time. Die! The long blade had just killed the star demon and could not return to help. This was the best opportunity. Unfortunately, they were wrong. A black and white Tai Chi diagram appeared, and the power of the sword rays was reduced by 60%. How can this be? Pfft. In their haste, the 2 of them did not manage to avoid being hit in their vitals, and their 60% sword rays pierced through them. Blood flowed out, and Jiang Chongkong's body was engulfed in flames. Vajra steps on fire. The 3 force prints in his body vibrated at the same time, and the air exploded at a terrifying distance, carrying with it a majestic pressure. The 2 of them hurriedly raised their swords to block. Boom! Blood splattered everywhere, and the 2 of them were sent flying, dyeing the river red. Splash! The 2 of them fell into the river, and their bodies twitched. Their breathing was weak, and they could not even get up. You step back. After dealing with the 2 of them, Jiang Chongkong flashed to Yao Meng's side. The fiery sunset rose again, and the setting sun was endless. Yao Meng retreated at the right time, and the sunset blade slashed down. Quick, retreat. The 3 of them were shocked. Boom! Crack! Cracking sounds were heard again, and the golden shield turned into specks of starlight, dissipating between heaven and earth. The 3 young men with disheveled hair were sent flying. The rocks on the cave wall fell again, and the Tai Chi diagram appeared, blocking the rocks. Jiang Chongkong leaped onto the platform. Leave him to me. You and Yao Meng deal with the 3 of them. The three of them were already heavily injured. With their strength, they should be able to kill one of them with one slap. Okay. Nan Tianwang did not say anything else, and he turned around and jumped off the stone platform. You, don't come over, don't come over. Chu Tianyun was terrified, and he kept stepping back. Even the top strength of Stargate couldn't bring him any courage at the moment. He couldn't fight this guy. This guy could definitely kill him with one slash. The Chu family, Chu Tianxing. Jiang Changkong's face was cold. The sun rose again, and the glow of the sunset was like fire. Help! With a scream, Chu Tianxing turned around and ran. Jiang Changkong was slightly taken aback. What the F***ck? Scared away? Where do you think you're going? Get lost! Chu Tianxing shouted and slashed with his sword. The golden shield on his body shone brightly, and he crashed into it. Yao Meng was about to stop him, when a blue flower flew out and hit her. She quickly retracted her astral powers and grabbed the blue flower. I'll go after him. As the setting sun dissipated, Jiang Changkong moved, and he was about to chase after him. Don't chase after him. You can't catch up with him. He must have brought an underwater device. The most important thing now is to get it. I hope it's really here. Nan Tianwang jumped onto the stone platform, went to the place where the flower grew, and carefully dug up the soil. A gust of cold air was emitted, and a silver-white stone the size of a palm was revealed. This is? Jiang Changkong was surprised. The bone-piercing cold air made him feel somewhat unbearable. Moonstone. Back then, when the starlight shone down, it was a stone that fell from the moon star. Nan Tianwang said cautiously, Chu Tianxing thought I was doing this for the blue moon flower. This is a real treasure. Is it valuable? Jiang Changkong's eyes were glowing. It fell from the moon. No wonder it could suppress my blazing sun art. The corner of Nan Tianwang's mouth twitched. He really wanted to scold him for being poor. Could he not mention money? It's very valuable. Such a big piece is priceless. Of course, it has to be in the hands of someone who knows what's good for it. Yao Meng took care of the three severely injured people, and walked over with joy in her eyes. Then, the two of them looked at Jiang Changkong warily. Jiang Changkong snorted. Who do you think I am? I only take what I deserve. Nan Tianwang said, I hope you won't tell anyone about this moonstone for a month. Don't worry. I'm not your enemy. I'll keep my promise, Jiang Changkong said. This time, it was Nan Tianwang's turn to hesitate. How about a little less? I was so angry just now. At that time, he was so angry and anxious that he directly asked for more money. Jiang Changkong didn't look pleased. You asked for more money. I didn't say I wanted your treasure. Can't you be reasonable? I'll give you as much as you promised, Yao Meng said with a frown. Nan Tianwang waved his hand and 1,500 starstones flew out. 1,000 low-grade 4th-grade starstones and 500 top-grade 3rd-grade starstones. Not one more, not one less. Jiang Changkong's eyes turned red. How many starstones did this guy have? Sometimes I really want to rob you. Jiang Changkong gritted his teeth and said, You can't just have starstones in life. These people should have something on them. You can pick them up. Nan Tianwang kept the moonstone and pointed at the 5 corpses and the star demon's corpse. You can dig the starstones yourself. Burn the corpses too. Help me deal with them. We'll wait for you outside. Then, the two of them walked out. Jiang Changkong was happy to deal with them himself. He extracted the essence of the star demon and searched their spatial pendant. Unfortunately, the two mid-stage Stargate cultivators were obviously not doing well. They didn't even have any spatial equipment. As for the other three, they had spatial pendant. There were 35 4th-grade starstones in total. 8 top-grade starstones, 10 top-grade starstones, 17 middle-grade starstones, and none of the low-grade starstones. After counting them, Jiang Changkong burned the corpses and left. The two of them were waiting for him at the entrance of the cave. They were originally talking, but when they saw him come out they shut up. Jiang Chongkong only heard something about giving the moonstone to someone and getting an ally. He didn't hear the details clearly. He was too lazy to ask. He wasn't interested. The three of them went back the way they came but didn't see Chu Tianyun. He escaped really quickly, Jiang Chongkong said. I already said that he must have brought some equipment. He can run very fast underwater. Chasing him is a waste of energy. Nan Tianwang said sarcastically, he's the same as his boss. He doesn't have any abilities, but he's good at escaping. Jiang Chongkong didn't say anything else. The three of them came to the entrance of the cave. The rope had been cut. However, it didn't matter. It was just a little trouble. The three of them were strong enough to climb up. When he went up, he would count the starstones and level up. Chapter 115. After saying goodbye to the two and arranging to meet the next day, Jiang Chongkong returned to the river. 1,000 4th grade inferior grade starstones would be 100,000 essences. 500 pinnacle 3rd grade star stones would be 20,000. 35 star stones would be 9,600. He had to thank Chu Tianyun for making Nan Tianpang so angry. Otherwise, he wouldn't have offered such a price. However, 1,000 4th grade inferior grade star stones was really nothing. There weren't many people from the provinces at the peak of Stargate. Together with the remaining essences, he had close to 140,000. After upgrading 4 martial arts, there was no way that he would be able to max out his major accomplishment. That was to upgrade all 5 martial arts to Deshang. Jiang Chongkong distributed the essences and upgraded all 5 martial arts at the same time. Buzz. Golden light shone brilliantly and he was indestructible. Golden flames burned around him, making him look like a sun. 3 strikes of grace, Yuling art, Tai Chi mysterious art. All kinds of enlightenment surged into his mind. The star power surged and the Stargate became more solid. His power increased and his 5 senses became stronger. Jiang Chongkong. Late Stargate mid-grade inferior grade martial arts. Vajra indestructible art. Deshang 1/125000 Tai Chi mysterious art. Deshang 1/125000 3 strikes of grace. Deshang 1/125000 blazing sun art. Deshang 1/125000 Yuling art. Deshang 1/125000 essence, energy, spirit. 9/198 Feeling the majestic astral power, Jiang Chongkong looked at Jiang Shuehe again. Now, he could kill to his heart's content. Although he hadn't seen a hidden star-level cultivator after entering the late Stargate, he felt that he could meet one. However, it wasn't easy to find a rich idiot like Nan Tianpang. He took out hundreds of pinnacle 3rd grade and thousands of lower grade star stones. He was a tycoon who would throw money at the drop of a hat. It didn't seem like a bad thing to have 1 or 2 such friends, right? With a wave of his hand, Jiang Chongkong killed the star demon. They fought until late at night, killing more than 3,000 essence chi. It wasn't that he didn't want to kill more, but there weren't that many star demon by the river. According to the current amount of essence, chi, and spirit he had collected, it would take him more than 200 days to complete the later stages of Stargate. Mineral veins. Jiang Chongkong said faintly. Why wasn't there any news of medium or large mines? He desperately wanted to build a city and then sell the land. That way, he would be able to obtain a large amount of essence, chi and spirit, and it was even possible for him to directly rush to the astral soul level. Forget it, let's not think about it anymore. I should focus on killing the star demon for now. He sat down with his legs crossed to recover his astral powers. The next morning, Jiang Chongkong continued to kill in another place. Not long after, Yao Meng, who was wearing a white dress, walked over slowly on the beach. Why are you here? Jiang Chongkong was a bit confused. Wasn't she in a hurry to leave with the precious moonstones? It's such a beautiful view. Why do you have to make it so bloody? Yao Meng looked at the Red River and sighed. Isn't it good to relax and drink some tea? If relaxing can bring me star stones and drinking tea can bring me star stones, I'll do it. As Jiang Chongkong spoke to him, he controlled his saber to kill the star demons. Yao Meng smiled. Are you interested in joining my Budokai? Didn't you check my identity? Jiang Chongkong paused and said, I'm the chairman of Budokai. You can disband and leave the club, or merge your Budokai into mine. I'll keep the vice-chairman position for you. Yao Meng said, I can take you and even your members to the big province for 100 star stones of the same level every month. No need. You can't afford me, Jiang Chongkong said with a hint of arrogance. Yao Meng wasn't angry. I can give you weapons, medicine, anything you need for cultivation. If your members don't want to go, I can also make arrangements in the Gangshui castle. I said I won't go. Jiang Chongkong frowned impatiently. Yao Meng smiled and said, If you change your mind when you go to the big province, you can mention it again. Let's talk about the future in the future. You're from the big province. Why do you have to choose me? Jiang Chongkong said indifferently. Because the pressure is too great. Even I might die in the near future. Even some geniuses, such as the 17-year-old Xing Zong and the 18-year-old Xing Ling. They can't guarantee that they can survive the competition. Yao Meng said calmly. The 17-year-old Xing Zong? The 18-year-old Xing Ling? Jiang Chongkong was dumbfounded. In comparison, the super geniuses of Rivertown were trash. 20 years old, not even in Galaxy, but they could already be geniuses. Looking at the four brothers of the Chu family, none of them was younger than 20, and they were only at the peak of Stargate. How old are you? 18. 2 months and 19. My talent is average. Jiang Chongkong. What kind of talent was this? What kind of talent was this? As if expecting Jiang Chongkong's shock, Yao Meng continued, Those below Stargate can only be considered low-level martial artists. The Star Door had just surpassed the low level and stepped into the middle level. Only those who have surpassed Xing Ling can be considered high-level martial artists in the Federation. Jiang Chongkong thought of the divisions of martial arts: low, intermediate, advanced, and peak. According to his own advancement, it seemed that he had just stepped into the intermediate level. Yao Meng invited again. The outside world is more exciting. Join me in the competition. No, I'll stick to my own path. Jiang Chongkong still refused. If you want star stones, we can negotiate. If you can't afford it, let's not negotiate. Jiang Chongkong shook his head. The star stones he needed were endless. No matter how rich Yao Meng was, she couldn't afford it. Then let's be friends. I hope we won't be enemies in the future, Yao Meng said softly. If you don't want to be my enemy, I won't be. Jiang Chongkong said calmly. I have time in the next few days. I will come often, Yao Meng said lightly. Jiang Chongkong frowned but didn't say anything. He didn't understand. He had already rejected her invitation. Why was she still pestering him? Was the competition in the big provinces that cruel? A 17-year-old Xing Zong and an 18-year-old Xing Ling? Forget it. It has nothing to do with me. I'm not in a hurry to go there. If you're bored, why don't you help me kill some star demon? Jiang Chongkong shook his head. He hadn't finished dealing with Jiang Hai yet. Blood Chi sword. The martial artists nearby retreated automatically, not daring to get close. There wasn't much time left in a month. He wouldn't run away. He would stay here and kill the star demon. Yao Meng was stunned. She found it funny. You dare to use anyone? Fine, I'll help you kill some. I think you should change your name to Jiang Xingshi. Yao Meng helped with the killing and left in the evening. The next day, Yao Meng came again. She brought some food and tea. After the two of them finished their meal and drank tea, Yao Meng told him about the province. There were many geniuses in the big provinces. There were more star stones and all kinds of treasures. Jiang Chongkong felt that she was luring him to go to the big provinces. Unfortunately, he was still sane. He didn't get carried away by these temptations. After drinking tea, Jiang Chongkong continued to kill the star demon. Yao Meng took the things and left. She would only help when she was in a good mood. Jiang Chongkong's answer didn't put her in a good mood. She brought food at night. She didn't tell him about the big provinces anymore. She only talked about martial arts. Jiang Chongkong would occasionally look at Budokai's official website to see if there were any suitable missions. Unfortunately, there weren't any. The mission for the mineral vein was still the small mineral vein. As the killing continued, the number of star demon by the river also decreased. Without the star demon, Jiang Chongkong and Yao Meng drank tea and chatted. Jiang Chongkong didn't stop until the female senior called. He looked at Yao Meng, who was standing quietly at the side. He said, "I should go. I've been relaxing for so long. It's time for me to go back. When I become a hidden star, I'll look for you again," Yao Meng said. "I'll still refuse when the time comes," Jiang Chongkong said. "Maybe." Yao Meng looked at him deeply and left quickly.